What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If we've not yet met, my name is Johnny Nitafan, and we are live on YouTube. So today we're going to go into complete breakdown on how you can sell more final expense life insurance. If you're watching on YouTube, I'm actually going to drop in the comments here so that you guys can hop on to the live if you want to come and ask a question. I'm going to do that now just in the chat. Let's see. We got some people live on Zoom already. Come and ask questions. If you guys have any. Let's see. Why is this not letting me? Let's see. Public. Let's see. All right, cool. Let me know if you guys can see this on YouTube. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but we're live. In this, we're going to go into leads that you need to work, comp plans, best agencies to work with, or different places so you can know that you're in the right agency. We're going to be talking about dialers, systems, anything that you guys have related to selling more final expense life insurance over the phone. And hop into Zoom if you guys want. But looks like we already got some people on here ready to ask some questions. Preston, Preston, Ashley, Austin, Giovanni. I don't know if you guys have any questions yet, but wanted to bring you guys on if you guys did have any questions.
No, I just did want to say you're good to go on YouTube.
Okay, sweet, man. Appreciate you. Thanks, man. Sweet. Well, yeah, so I wanted to kind of break down a few things with you guys, and then if you guys have any questions, people live on Zoom, let me know. And I will answer those questions. Let's see here. I'm gonna put it in Facebook. So we are live there as well. I'm gonna put, all right, cool. Yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions. I am putting it in the chat now. Let's see. Sure. There we go. All right. Sweet. Ashley has a good question. How do you know what to look for how do you know what to look for if you have a good upline? This is a super great question. So, if you guys want to ask live questions, come on Zoom. We have people live here as well. But pretty much the way that you're able to find a good upline, there's a couple things that you want to ask them, right? The first thing is like, do they actually know how to sell life insurance? I mean, that's like the biggest thing is actually seeing and like going and kind of surfing the web. A good way is like just if they have good content on YouTube, Instagram, whatever, that's a great way to be able to kind of see if they do have good content. If they do have good content, they probably are legit because they know what they're talking about. That's a good way to be able to test without having to go and like just kind of jump in without knowing that, right? So seeing social proof, going to Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, like actually checking out like what they've done personally, and then also like have they helped other people accomplish what they say that you can do, right? So that's kind of the biggest thing there in terms of upline. There's other things in terms of like picking a good agency that I would say, whether that's picking the right leads, having like a really good system in place for that, having good systems in terms of training. So, hey, if I were to come on, what you want to be like in an interview process with them too. So asking them, hey, what would it look like for us to work together? Like, what would be kind of the next steps? What kind of training do you do? What kind, like, how would you actually help me? Right. So asking those types of questions are going to be important for you guys to be able to figure out. So that's kind of what I would say in terms of that. But and also, like, are they actually going to do what they say, like they say they're going to do? Are they actually going to train you? Are they going to be there for you? Are they going to mentor you? So that's kind of what I would say there, make sure that they have a good training program, make sure that they can actually help you get to where you want to go. And also, like, the biggest thing I would say is that they have already done what you're trying to do. Because the easiest thing is like figuring out somebody who has what find somebody who has what you want, do what they do, and you'll be able to get what they got. So if you're like, hey, if I could follow exactly what you say, what would the result be? And also, what does that path look like, right? And there's things that are going to be unexpected, but that's kind of overall what I would say on that end. So that's a good question, Ashley. Let's see. Let's see. Giovanni, unmute, bro. Come on here and ask the question.
Gotcha, man. Sorry about that.
Hold
So,
on.
hey,
No, you're good, bro. All right.
how can you duplicate your mindset and dial system to other people you have
Wait,
on
hold
your
on.
team
Hold
to
on.
make money?
Like open up, like turn on your camera and ask.
Okay.
All
Can you
right, go
see me?
ahead. Yeah. Yes, sir. You're in space.
Cool, cool. Man, I don't even know why I have that background. I forgot I had that. But yeah, man. So how can you duplicate your mindset and duplicate the dial system to the people you already have on your team faster to get them going through the process and make them money faster, you know?
That's a super good question. So just to confirm, like, how can you do like help other people have your mindset and help other like have other people um essentially like give to them so that they can actually get to where they want to go as well, or like be able to do
Correct.
the exact same thing. Is that the same?
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good question. So what I would say is first do it yourself. Know exactly the path that you need to walk for yourself, right? Now, there's a few other things in there that are super crucial. Once you know the step, once you know what to do and you do it yourself, then there's
Mm-hmm.
additional things to be able to add to that, right? So what that looks like is figuring out exactly step by step what you did to be able to get you where you want to go, right?
Okay.
So whether that's actual mindset, right? Whether that's what exact leads to be able to work that you worked, whether that's what else? The sales, like how you got from incompetent to competent, right? So what does that look like? What did you do? Not just the sales side, but what did you do outside of that, right? So in terms of um role plays, did you role play with people? Did you like how do you do what you do essentially, right? So like are you role playing with people? Are you listening to certain trainings? What does your daily routine look like so that you can see success? Because the interesting thing is like the people who actually succeed in this industry aren't they all have very similar things in that they fall to their habits, right? You're not going to rise to your potential. You're going to fall to your habits and systems and your standards, right? So what habits did you implement in your life so that they can get to the results you have, right? You have to train them to think. You have to train them to think a certain way because the that's how you're able to fully duplicate yourself is not all, like the tactical things are there, right? That's the easy part, but it's more how do you teach them how to think? Because if you teach them how to think, if you teach them how to fish, they could fish forever. And that's going to be the best leverage of your time. And then on top of that, giving them the exact A to Z roadmap so that they can succeed, right? So are you role playing daily? Are you listening to top producers' live sales calls? Are you calling the leads within 5 minutes? Are you all these questions, making sure that they understand and know and be able to check them on that. So you want to give them the tactical stuff, but then also the high level stuff, the mindset, how to think, how to like attack rejections, so on and so forth. So, um, yeah, that's a good question though. I think
Makes sense.
yeah, and then also like I would say, and by the way, like if you're live on Zoom, the only question I ask is that you just have your camera on and ask, or just keep your camera on in general. Just want to make sure of that. But for this, right, like if you want to, I teach like um, the 3 steps to profit, right? So you want to start the flow, right? You want to create the flow, you want to monetize the flow, or optimize the flow, and then you monetize the flow, right? So what does that look like for new agents starting out, wanting to crush it, right? So the first thing is you want to create the flow, right? Making sure that you're getting the presentations down, making sure you're getting the dials, making sure that you are um, getting the appointments, right? Making sure that you're getting all these things. So you create that flow, right? You want to get the leads going. You want to get the ads running. You want to get the just doing the activity, and then you optimize the flow, right? So you're able to, you track the metrics. And then when you're optimizing the flow, you're checking the metrics that you're doing. And then from there, you're able to go back and give yourself feedback. And then you're able to monetize the flow that way. So a lot of people come to me and ask, hey, how do I make $20,000 a month? And the way that you do that is a lot of people want to profit that, right? You don't want to just see the cash and then it goes away like that. You actually want to see cash in bank and profit at 20,000 or 30,000, whatever it is. The first step for you guys, if you guys have never made $20,000 ever, is to don't worry about the profit you make at first, right? Just make $20,000 in commissions, whether you have to spend $5, $10, $15,000 to do it. And then it's way easier to backtrack from there and cut costs that you don't need to be able to actually make $20,000. So that's what I believe in terms of the monetizing flow, which is huge. Izzy, what's up, bro? Good to see you, man. Kobe, you there, dude? I don't know if he's there. All right. If you guys don't turn your cameras on, it's all good. But I'm just, the only rule that I have is that I'm just gonna have to kick you. You guys can watch on YouTube if you don't want to turn your camera on, but it just helps me, it helps everybody else. So yeah. But what other questions you guys got? We got a few people live. If you guys are on YouTube, I'm gonna drop the link or DM me on Instagram link, and I'll send you the Zoom link. So let me know. Rays, what's up, bro? Looks like
how's it going, Johnny? Good to see you, man.
Good to see you too, man. We got the community repping in here, guys, which is really cool. So if you guys don't know, I got a community of life insurance agents, few people on here now. But people that are in my coaching program and in essentially the community, right? Like helping with lead gen, marketing, sales, access to me, the coaches we have as well. So it's cool to have you on board, Izzy, Giovanni, Nancy, Devin. So Devin got his second sale of the day today, which is sick. So let's see.
Let's go.
Rays, what questions you got? You look like you have a question or two.
No, not yet. I think I'm good right now. I'm kind of dialed in on what I'm doing, going through the training still, going through a lot of training, and really right now working on the script and the tonality and just practicing it out loud with myself.
Yeah.
You know, and then I'm going to come back. Austin and I are going to do a little one-on-one role playing, unless there's a group one going on. But I think I'm getting it down, man. This script I love it. I love this script. Yeah, this is great. You cover all the angles for sure.
Yeah, bro, that's it, dude, for sure. Preston, appreciate you, dude. Means a lot, man. Devin, dude, you there? I don't know if he's there. He might be closing another deal. It's all good.
He got one early today. This is
and he just got another one.
He got another one
of the day. Yes, sir.
Getting it out,
yeah.
Man. Oh.
Yes, sir. Austin, dude, wanted to ask you, because you've been working, you're in the community, you're one of the coaches that we got. Wanted to kind of see from your perspective, like because a lot of people ask, like, how do I become successful? How do I make 10,000 a month? Like for you, like seeing so many different agents helping a ton of people with us, like what are some of the similar character traits that you've seen that agents that do make 10,000 a month or 20,000 a month that they have that somebody else could pick up on too?
I mean, obviously motivated, right? It's like the first thing you're going to notice whenever somebody comes in, if they really want to achieve it or not. Second thing is just consistency. And I think that's a huge one to starting out in the business in general is how consistent are you going to be practicing your script? How consistent are you going to be on the dials? And how consistent are you going to be on the trainings? So with a combination of those things, you make it really hard to fail as long as you plug into a system and just stay consistent. It's hard to fail out.
Yeah. No, I agree, dude. And it's cool to see like you helping people and role playing and scripting and all that. Like, what are some other things you think or feel in terms of like either the mindset or what's the schedule look like for a top producer that you're seeing?
Oh, I mean, for sure, like depends how they want to come swinging out of the gate, right? But I think the number one people are always dialing at 8 a.m. You know, they're not doing admin work. They're hitting the phones as soon as 8 a.m. rolls around and they're ready to go. If they're going to do training beforehand, they've done it prior to 8 and they're ready to hit the phones exactly at 8. And then people, I mean, really, like I said, it's just consistency, right? It's I think top producers set a goal and they work towards the goal rather than just like a number, right? If it's like they want to do 3,000 in AP for the day, they chase that, not like 100 dials and quit.
Yep. No, that's good. That's good.
Hey Johnny, I got a quick question, real quick.
What's up, bro?
Hey man, so right now I'm kind of in a spot where I'm trying to get through the dialing, be a top producing agent, but I'm also in the spot where I know and I have a great lead recruiting system. But what's your perspective on trying to recruit people right now where I'm not at the spot to lead the people to become top agents?
Dude, that's a really good question, and a lot of people mess this up. Transparently, dude, what I did, and there's a ton of different philosophies on this, so take it with a grain of salt. And do with it what you want. Because there are a ton of people that are gonna disagree with it, and I really don't care. What I would say is master it yourself, bro, because the reality is it's like building two bridges, right? The first thing you do is when you're building, like, if you're trying to, they're two different skills essentially. So if you're trying to produce, put all of your effort on producing and making money yourself, right? And then if you want to build, get really good at that and obsess about that. Because if you are trying to obsess about both and you're trying to do both, the reality is you're probably going to have these half-built bridges that you're not going to be able to get to the destination you want, right? And it's delayed gratification. So I think what this industry has messed up a lot is that you come in and you start recruiting at like as you're going, and which is totally cool, but I think the failure rate's so high because that is a skill to be able to help somebody else. That is another level of the game. And if you're trying to get it way too fast and you're trying to get it early, you're probably setting those people up to fail. And so that's just my advice. That's what I would say. Like the opportunity is there, but it's all about sequencing, right? Patrick Bet David talks about this a lot, right? Is you have to sequence correctly. It's not a matter of if is recruiting bad or good or is producing just solely bad or good. It's all about sequencing and getting it in the right timing, right? So for you, you're not going to be able to speak with conviction, give advice, help motivate, help inspire if you've never done it yourself. So Giovanni, for you in answering your question, like I would just put your head down and fully obsess becoming a top producer and document the journey. Because what happens is when you start doing that, when you start giving value, when you start making like the content, right, that you're just doing it, right? Nobody can point fingers at you saying, no, you can't do it. No, you're not where like you're not anything. They can't like throw stones at you if you're just documenting your journey. Hey, if this is helpful, cool. If not, click off the video, right? Go watch somebody else. So it's just a matter of documenting the journey. Is as you do that, your vibe is going to attract your tribe. So you're going to bring the people that you're going to attract the right people to you as you go, but you have to master one skill first, which is sales. There are thousands of different things that go into mastering sales, and then it's management and it's recruiting. But if you're trying to recruit way too early, you're setting people up for failure. And then also, you just have to be careful of the dream that's being sold too, because for a lot of people, it's just a dream. And so what happens is they want to tell you to recruit right away before you get licensed. And when you're just licensed, so that if you quit and they don't give you the proper training, it's like they just got more people that can go into the system. And so you just have to be careful about that, right? And I'm not saying everybody does that, but I'm just saying that's kind of how the system's built, and I've seen it firsthand. And I did it. That's a mistake I made. I started recruiting super early when I didn't have any receipts and when I didn't know what to do. And I'm just fully relying on this other person, right? My mentor, upline, agency owner, to train them for me because that's what they say. And it's like, do I really have full trust in them that they will help deliver that or not? Right. And so there's a lot of, like, what I would say if I could go back is I would continue documenting the journey as I made it happen. Even when I wasn't good, I would just say, hey, this is my first day dialing. Right. And Daniel, what's cool is he does a good job of this. He just makes live streams. Like, he does lives, he does YouTube videos. Like, he just does these things, and he's just like, I'm like documenting the journey, and he's talking about, like, he isn't, I don't know if he's made a sale yet, but he hasn't become a top producer yet, but he will, right? And the way he's able to do that is because he's just making videos, right? And they don't have to be good at first, but just make them. And then people, when you do make it, are going to look back, like Iman Godzi is a good example, and be like, dude, what the heck? Like, this guy has been making videos forever. And that instantly builds trust. So what I would do, Giovanni, if I were you, is work and obsess on selling. Okay. It's not scalable, but it will in the future. Focus on selling, build that skill, focus completely and solely on that. Document the journey on YouTube as you go, and it'll build all this goodwill. So once you have the system in place, once you're ready to go, then once you turn on the ask, people will be flooding to you, right? And you're going to have a compounding effect as you go. And that's going to be a whole nother learning curve too, but it's just set up for success that you give, and then they'll just start coming to you, dude. Like, it'll just happen. So I don't know if that's helpful or not.
Yeah, that's definitely helpful because right now I'm in the situation where I'm bringing tons of people on board,
Yeah.
and I'm not in the right spot to lead them. So I have to make them trained by my upline right now. And I know my upline is making tons of money, but I'm just like not really 100% sure. I kind of want to have all the training on my side and the management on my side. But also with recruiting those people, I have an employee doing all of that for me, which is costing me like $1,100 a month from the Philippines. So
Yeah.
that's kind of what that's a big thing right now because I'm not getting, if I get them on board, that's good. But the whole goal is to actually get them making money. That's the
Right.
whole goal. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that makes sense. So would you recommend pretty much letting go of the employee until I actually make the money and then document myself? And then once I document it and actually, made the money for a couple months consistently, then start recruiting and educating these people on how to do the same thing?
I mean, personally, that's what I would do. Pass them off to people you trust. If you really think that you can train them up and help them and answer all their questions, then I would do it, right? But if not, then I would just consider that and be like, hey, give me 6 months to master this myself. Like, I would just have a transparent conversation. Yo, dude, the opportunity is real, but for like caring for you and your sanity and your livelihood, I don't know. And this is a conversation you have to have and come to grips with yourself. Right. And there's a lot of humility that comes with this, but a lot of goodwill that you can bring is like, hey, I don't know if I'm fit for this job yet to be able to train and coach and mentor you yet. But I'm going to put the next 6 months dedicated so I can master this craft. So in 6 months, you have a true opportunity and you're set up for the best success to make $10,000, $20,000 a month. But let me master it first. But if they're like, no, dude, I want to figure it out with you. Cool. That's their decision. Right. So it's just a matter of you having that conversation with them. Right. And I'm just saying, like, that's what I would do. I'm not saying that's what you have to do, but like learning how to sell is a full-time and a half job by itself for you to get good at sales. And then sales management is a whole nother thing. So it's like you're going to be pulled in two directions, right? You're going to be trying to teach them how to sell when you're like, dude, I just want to figure it out myself. I want to make money myself. And so what happens is a lot of people bring people in and they're both not making money because of like the opportunity for the future, which is real, but it's all about sequencing. Because recruiting, it's a great fascinating. Like it's a great way to be able to actually have a true business. But it's just a lot of people don't recruit at the right time and recruit the wrong people too that actually won't make it. So that's kind of another thing too.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that.
Got you, bro. Daniel, bro, good to see you, man.
Going on, man?
Dude, you're I love your bro, I love your YouTube videos, dude. Keep it up, bro. You got this. I see your goals. I see you writing it down, bro. You're doing all the right things, dude. It's just a matter of time that when you blow up, dude, you're gonna make it, man. And your people are gonna be like, dang, dude, that guy started making content when he didn't have much, which is really cool.
I appreciate it, man.
Got you, bro. How's everything been, dude? Um, have you made your first sale yet or not yet?
Not told yet, but I got my Cody's doing the done for leads, so I'll be done for you leads, you know. So I'll be on my way. It's just when I was living motel to motel, I couldn't invest in everything. Now that I'm back on my feet and getting everything back up and going, now I'm able to invest in myself, and now I'm able to put into my business.
Let's go. Love it, bro. Good to hear.
Is 181-86-0523.
Sweet. Let's see here.
I wish I had more questions. You pretty much answered them last night, Johnny. That quick call we had. So I got all my questions pretty much answered last night.
Sweet, man. Let's see.
I
Love
got
it.
another question, Johnny. I got another
Let's
question.
Let's go.
Sorry, I'm just hitting at you
Oh.
with a lot of questions while I'm driving, but
Can't hear
they
you.
just popped up in my mind again.
Cutting out.
We did talk about this a while ago, but I was talking about, my question was, why did you decide to go the route of
It's
you know,
Is it me or is it cutting out?
Is it cutting out?
No, it's cutting
No,
out.
Oh. Okay, Giovanni, go ahead. My bad, dude.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. There we go. Go ahead, bro.
Okay. So back to what I was saying. We did talk about this question a while ago. But my question was, why did you decide to go the route of, helping other people achieve their goals of selling, getting their lead gens, instead of actually building your own business, something like a Patrick Bet-David type thing that he would do?
Yeah, bro. No, I totally get it, bro. That's a super good question. So what I would say, man, is for you in your situation, like for what I decided to do rather than like going down the coaching thing is that I did the recruiting for a little bit. I recruited hundreds of agents, bro, but like I didn't have a system put in place. And so like I had to take some time and just figure myself out. Now, in terms of the coaching thing, I'm going to build an agency at some point. But the reason I decided to go down this route is because I wanted to become a huge name in the space and then recruit at some point. Because I think I just honestly didn't want to take on all those agents personally. Like I just wanted heavy agents, like heavily invested agents that actually can have success. Because what happened was I recruited a ton of people and there was no buy-in. And it's like, dude, like what the heck? I'm giving all this value away and like nobody is like actually implementing what I'm saying. And so the real problem I was trying to solve at that point was trying to figure out, I just needed people to buy into what I was saying, right? And people pay attention when they pay money. And so I'm like, you know what? I know what I have works, but I just need other people to actually see that and do it. And so I was like, dude, maybe I'll just charge $1,500. Maybe I'll charge $2,000. But I ended up, now it's like $6,000, right? So, and it's going to go up more at that point. But I think for people and agents, right? Like I just needed people to actually like have some money on the line so that they actually implemented what I said. And then I can actually help more people transparently. And then it allows me to figure this thing out. And then on top of that, like then go out and recruit. So that's kind of why I decided to do that. But yeah.
And what if you like try doing a buy-in instead of like a buy-in on recruiting as well? Like, because I know,
bro, you can. And honestly, I was thinking about that for sure. Like, hey, pay me $1,500 and then let's do it. But yeah, I just ended up deciding like I just want to solely become the best coach, and I want to become the best in this space. And I want to just help people, because what happened, dude, and I've actually had another guy ask me the same thing, like, dude, are you going to ask for my contracts? And I was like, no, I'm not. Because a lot of people are coming for contracts. And I'm like, you know what? Stay where you're at. I'll help you wherever you're at. Just pay me to be able to give you the information and like actually help you. And so that's really what I would say. And also show that it's actually possible to succeed wherever you're at. Like whatever IMO, it does not matter, bro. It does not matter at all. Like I know I can help. Whether you're at a FFL, Family First Life, Symmetry, Impact Legacy Group, World Financial, dude, it does not matter. I can help wherever you're at. And it just proves out the system so that when I do end up building an agency, dude, I already have 100 people a month reach out to me to join the agency. And I just say, hey, I'm not recruiting. And I don't know if I should be saying this like and giving all the secrets away, but like that's the reality. Like you give, and then dude, people just start asking, like, dude, how do I join? I had a guy, he actually joined the program recently, but he does about 30,000 a month, and he's like, I'm surprised you didn't ask for my contracts. Like I was like, I'm really surprised. And it's just like because the industry is trained to do that over and over and over again. So I was like, you know what? When everybody's going right, I'm going left. And then build the brand, it allows me to actually do what I want, which is travel, explore the world, be able to make content for you guys like this. It frees me up so much time to be able to do that. And then people who come in, they have the best results in the industry. That's just the reality. Nobody else is coming like to be able to actually help other people the way we're helping people. It's like Chase, Gonzalo, Max, like people nowadays, like Devin closed his third deal, right? Second of the day. He never sold anything before. So it allows me to do that and also build content like this so that I can really give back to you guys and help pour into that. So ultimately, when the time is right, go out and build an agency. So that's a good question though, bro. And also, guys, what were you saying, Ray's?
I was just gonna say it's kind of like Gary V. Reminds me of Gary V. Just give,
Bro,
give, and it comes
that's
back.
it, man. Dude, and Hormozy actually had a little different thought process with this, right? As my boy Augusto or Augustine just joined the program, so I'm going to give him a quick shout out real quick. Augustine, I'm gonna tell him to hop on. Austin, send him the link. I just want to shout him out real quick. But we just added another person to community, so super excited for that, to have him on board. Yeah, he's about to take over as lead source and join the community. But anyways, if you guys haven't already, I'm opening up school in about like a week. So there's going to be, if you guys haven't already, in the description on YouTube, I'm also going to put it down here. Apply for school. Because we have like tons of stuff coming there. We're going to have live support calls once a week. So this is completely free. It's going to be once a week. Support calls, 30 minutes to an hour, kind of like this, Q&As. We're also going to be doing a $0 to $20,000 a month in income, fast track, all for free. And then another thing that's cool is we're going to have a case study how Max did $19,000 and $19,100 in 5 days, how of final expense life insurance on $950 of ad spend. So I just put the link in there on the chat. If you guys haven't already, apply there. And we have like 130 members just waiting to get in there. So it's going to be completely free. Just want to help you guys out, give back more. Izzy asked a good question here. How'd you figure out that you needed a mindset change to be successful in the early months? Dude, it's just ego. I started out, bro, and I had so much ego, and I was like, you know what, bro? Like, I'm that dude. I'm financially free, bro. And all of a sudden, like, I'm just going into debt, right? Like, I'm putting money on credit cards, and then it's just compounding. I'm compounding, and all of a sudden, dude, it just came to the point where there's this breaking point, and we're coming towards the end of 2022. It's December, like 14th, 15th, 2 weeks till the end of the year. My wife comes to me, is like, hey, what are your goals for 2024? Kind of share with her, or 2023, share with her a little bit. Want to grow the agency, want to grow the like my life insurance business, want to grow and scale, make 30, 40,000 a month, make YouTube. And dude, like it hit like a ton of bricks, bro. When she's like, maybe you should get a part-time job. And I was like, bro, like just picture this, right? Like you're on these leaderboards. People are asking you to join their agency calls with 50 people on there, 150 people on there. And dude, like you're supposed to give your advice on how you're scaling and like you're broke. It's like super uncomfortable. And so in that time, I was like, you know what? I have to figure this thing out. So in that time, bro, I hit up all my agents, right? Austin was one of them. Hit them all up. I'm out. I got to focus on myself. Like you guys can stay here, keep doing what you're doing, but I have to figure this thing out, right? And so in that time, bro, I had $500 in my account. And I was like, I'm turning on the Facebook ads. I'm figuring this thing out, bro. I remember, dude, paying like my first $100, dude, got like a good amount of leads. And I ended up closing one. I actually didn't get paid out on it, but I ended up closing it. And I was like, this is proof of concept, dude. I'm about to net $20,000 in the next 30 days. And dude, that's what ended up happening. Like I ended up figuring it out, ditched my whole agency, went solo, was writing solo at that point. And dude, that's it. Like I just was like, I'm figuring this out and I'm gonna work 10 hours a day. I'm gonna figure it out one way or another. I'm gonna call these people 9, 12, 15 times. I don't even care, bro. I just need resolution. And dude, that's what happened. And so then once I hit 20, I was like, dude, I feel like I could do this again. Went back to back, right? 2020. And then, dude, the next month, bro, I was like, I'm just scaling ads, scaled ads, spent like 8 grand on ads that month and put 42K in commissions. And I was like, I think I'm onto something. I really think I'm onto something at that point. And then like in that time, I was training Austin. Austin and I, like Austin's been on the come up for forever. So he was at my last agency. He's now doing this, which is really cool. But in that time, dude, him and I would just sit on Zoom all day. That's why I was like, dude, I believe so much in the live dial rooms. Like it's huge, bro. If you can have live dial rooms, that's how I trained Austin. So that's why I believe so much in like having live dial rooms where you can get live feedback and then also train other people because Austin was listening to me all day and I would be listening to him when I would dial. I would like stop dialing if he got somebody on the phone and I would be like, he would like mute the client and I'd be like, say this, say this, say this. Oh, say it this way. And then he'd unmute and say it. And I'm like, that's how we were getting deals closed. And that's how he was able to scale, which is really cool. And so, that's what we do now, right? Like in the live dial rooms, that's how Devin just closed 2 deals. Like, dude never closed a policy before. And all of a sudden, he closed 2 today, right? And it's the power of the live dial rooms and Zoom rooms. But dude, Augustin, bro, wanted to bring you on real quick and congratulate you on the joining the community, man. Super excited to have you on board, plugging in, man, and scaling, dude. So just want to give you a quick shout out, bro.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I appreciate it. And just jumping in and making it happen like your story.
Yeah, man. And it's cool, man, because you just from the brief time we've talked, right? You were a real estate agent, you got big
Yeah.
dreams, you got big goals, right? Like what's kind of things that you've I don't know, like what kind of like wanted to what kind of made you want to like really join and really like plug in and scale?
Yeah, like I have a lot of like we talked about, I have a lot of big dreams and I never really committed fully into it, and specifically in real estate because I knew it wasn't gonna get me to where I wanted to go, and this is the right vehicle, and I really wanted to make it right this way, to make it the right way. So I just decided to invest all the resources I need to make that happen, and I'm really excited to be here.
Yeah, man. I'm excited to have you on, dude. And I think like for anybody watching, anybody here, right? Like the journey of making it happen, you're not having to climb Mount Everest right away. Like it feels like that, right? But like you guys like that have joined the program and the community, the people who like you, Preston, Daniel, like Isaiah, you guys who are embarking on your journey to be able to start scaling yourself, right? Like and really becoming a successful agent, making 10, 20,000 a month feels like you're climbing Mount Everest. And it's like, dude, it's scary at first, but you just have to focus on taking one step, right? And the only thing you can do, right? I have the saying brick by brick. And it's like all you can do is focus on putting one step in front of the other. All you can do is commit to not fail. Like the only way you fail is that if you quit. So if you commit to not quitting, this was my mindset right away. If I never quit, I know I can never fail because you have a huge ignorance debt, right? For you to get from 0 to 10,000 is all ignorance. You have all this debt and every day you're paying it down. And so I was like, dude, if I can, if so say for this example, right? You guys are here and you living the life that you actually want to live, right? Whether it's 20, 30, $40,000 a month, whether it's traveling all around the world, this is where you want to go. In this here is 10,000 mistakes. And a lot of people, what they do is they'll make 10 mistakes and quit. They'll make 50 mistakes and quit. They'll say, oh, this industry is not for me. Oh, I'm not good at this. Oh, and they justify and they sell themselves. I'm like, dude, you guys are closers. You sold yourself on that you're not going to make it in the industry. Like, what are you doing? You're master salespeople, right? And so I think using that to be able to sell yourself into why it is going to work, right? And going and doing those 10,000 mistakes, how fast are you going to do it? Some people do it right away. Some people do it like my mindset was like, how can I condense 5 years of experience into 1 month? Because if I know, even if I don't hit that, right? How like the difference from me and somebody making 20,000 a month is the knowledge that they have and experience. So if I outwork them and I go way more than what they're doing, then I know that I'll be to be able to get there faster. And once I pay down this ignorance debt, once I pay all this off, right? And I had the experience making 20,000 a month, even if it took me 5 years, dude, was worth it. It obviously happened faster, right? I've only been licensed for like, I think it's my second full year ends in March. So coming up on 2 years in the industry. And it's like, dude, that's all. Like, how fast are you going to make the mistakes? How fast are you going to make the 10,000 mistakes? Some people don't ever make the mistakes. That's why they're stuck where they are. But like for you to get to where you want to go and actually see success, you have to pay down that tax. You have to pay down that ignorant debt. So that's my advice for you guys. If you guys are just like starting, it feels like a lot, but if you commit to not failing or commit to not quitting, you can't fail. You're just going to know way more than other people do. And if you just keep going and going and going, you'll succeed eventually, right? It's like you do so much, you figure out every single thing that's not going to work that you become not bad. I wanted to make so many mistakes that I just became so not bad that I became decent. And that's like, or proficient, right? Then I started making it. Austin's right, dude. Break down the problems and find the solution, right? Like every single thing in this business is mindset, but also it's easy to get emotions stuck in and tied into the business. It's so easy. It's so easy to just get yourself like in there emotional, right? But my advice to you would just think every time you run into adversity, think about what problem am I trying to solve? And just ask yourself that. Success is just a problem you're trying to solve. So how do you figure that out? And then just commit to it. There is no other way. All right. Peace out, dude. Peace out, Giovanni. But yeah, that's what I would say is just commit. Just commit. Once you commit, take massive action and it'll cement the feelings and thoughts that you had. It'll help cement it, right? So especially with you, Augustin, right? Like you just put money towards your dream, towards like it actually happening, right? That will help cement it. But then you also have to follow it up with massive action, right? And that'll help cement these things. And all of a sudden, dude, the more that you put towards that, the more energy, the more resources, the more time, the more focus you put towards things, that everything will start coming back to you. It'll
Yeah,
start coming back to you, bro. And it'll just, you're like, dude, how did this end up happening, bro? It feels like a coincidence. You close
yeah,
3 deals and it's like, what the heck?
yeah. And adding up to that, like as I told in the call, like I'm using every resource I have, so I kind of have to make this happen. So I think that's a really good position I put myself in. Like it's a bad position, but it's a good position to move forward and get closer because I just spent everything basically.
That's it, man. And I think for you, right, where you're at, like give yourself 10,000 reasons why you are going to make it. You have to right now you don't have any sales, right? So you have to pull from other people their conviction, pull from other people's success and be like, dude, these people were in worse situations than me, right? Like Gonzalo, for example. Dude was like, if I don't make this happen, I don't have Christmas. I'm doing it, right? Like, I'm going to have Christmas. I can't just go empty handed to my wife now. Like, I have to make this happen. And he gave himself 10,000 reasons why it was going to work. And guess what? It's worked out really well. Dude closed like 4.9K yesterday. Like, that's massive, right? Like, he had a huge day. And it's like, bro, like, dude did 5.6K in a day after like 20 days of working with us. Chase, same thing, right? Like, he was like, I'm going to give myself I'm going to give myself every reason why this is going to work. I'm going to take from other people's belief. I'm going to take from other people's um testimonials, right? Like they've done it, so can I, right? Because right now you have two options. You're either going to let fear creep in and give yourself 10,000 reasons why it's not going to work, or you're going to say, dude, why not me? Why isn't going to be me? I have so much more on the line than just myself, right? Family's future, wife or girlfriend's future, like freedom, right? That's on the other side. So give yourself the reasons why it is going to work. Same with you, Izzy. Same with you, Isaiah, Reyes, Preston, like Austin, everybody, every one of you guys. Give yourself reasons why it is going to work and take from other people's conviction, take from other people's experiences and use that as fuel, knowing that you're going to be the next one. So Preston said you can have a bad day or even a bad week, but if you stay consistent and put in the work with the right lead spend, it's almost impossible to have a bad month. That's 100% true. I actually really like that. I always used to say it takes 2 days. It takes 2 good days to make a good week, and it takes one good week to make a good month. But honestly, like my brother was like, how does that even make sense? And I was like, I don't honestly know. So these are good questions, though. I'm loving this. At the end of the day, like the reason I do these things is I want you guys to succeed. I want you guys to win. I want this to be a shortcut for you guys to actually see success because there's so much misinformation. There's so much people out there like trying to like recruit or trying to like win you over for selfish game. And it's like, here's the resources. Whenever somebody's like, why do you hide all the information? I'm like, I give it. And then all of a sudden, like more people come and are like, dude, I want to go deeper with you. Nancy said it's good for you to know who you are working with and what's going on before you bring others in, and then we will follow. And then yeah, other people will follow. I like that. That's really good. If you guys want, come on live on Zoom if you guys aren't yet. Let's see. What other questions you guys got? Or what do you want me to talk about or touch on?
I don't know if it's too early, but you were talking about earlier today. You were talking about that like lock-in type of thing, maybe something
Yeah.
for the team.
Well, I don't have any information on that yet. I just wanted to put a feeler out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just wanted to put a feeler out, dude, because I think that'll be really good when we do have an in-person event for the community.
I agree.
We're going to be doing live events, guest speakers, things like that. Just a lock-in. I don't know, make a quick $10,000 in 3 days or something. I don't know. Do some
Yeah.
crazy giveaways. Top producer, person who sets the most appointments in an hour, things like that, bro. It's gonna be cool. We're gonna do it though sometime later this year. But
Yeah, that'll be great.
yes,
I've
sir.
participated in 2 of them before, and they were a lot of fun. The little contest, whoever writes the first one, yeah, ordering
That's good.
food, everybody eating together, everybody dialing together. It's a lot of fun just getting in that environment.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
Izzy said give away a car. So, all right, I'm giving away a Urus. I saw somebody, one of my the guys I look up to, he just bought a Urus today, and I'm like, dang, bro, that'd be sick to give away a Urus. Dan, what's up, bro? Good question. Best way to learn your script, bro. All right, here's the secret sauce, right? Read it 10 times. Read it right when you wake up and right before you go to bed. The second thing you want to do, write it down. Right? Like how you're saying it, say it in your head, write it down. Hey, it's just Johnny giving you a quick call back in regards to the request you sent in on Facebook, blah, 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 right? Write it, the whole script down till close. And then say it out loud and record yourself, right? Turn your phone on, record it, and then listen to it back and ask what you could have done better. Like ask yourself what you could have done better on that. And do that over and over and over again. And also role play, right? You getting on the phone, that's game time. You can't practice during game time. You're going to be burning away money. So get a partner, get somebody, and say it out loud, right? And tell them, hey, these are my 3 biggest objections that I'm getting, or I'm afraid of getting these objections, right? My stomach drops when I get these objections. So hit me with them and see how I perform. And then, dude, that's how you get it, right? Like, it's just when you get objections, you should be like, bro, I've had this conversation 10,000 times already. Like, you're the one that is in control. You know exactly what to say. This is the first time, bro. They're just throwing out a smoke screen. It's like, bro, I have like you're the 1,000th person that I've had the same exact conversation about. I need to think about it. Like you should know. You've done it before, right? So like you should know exactly what to say. So that's what I would say in terms of objections, but then also figuring that out, dude, is like that's it, man. Literally it, dude. That's a good question though. Yo, Christian, what's up, bro? I don't know if he's hopping in here. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm not sure if his audio is working or not.
Yeah, I guess not.
Oh, there it goes. Connecting his audio.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yo, Christian, what's up, bro?
Hey, what's going on? I think I
Dude.
connected without audio for a second.
Love it, bro.
Now yesterday, dude. I think I'm kind of got my head wrapped around it, and I'm ready to rock and roll, bro. Fuck it. Worst comes to worst, I lose all my money. Who cares, bro? Let's go.
That's not gonna happen, bro. What I told you yesterday. Give yourself 10,000 reasons, bro. Give yourself 10,000 reasons why you are gonna succeed, right? So yeah, man, I'm excited to have you, bro. And it is a lot, right? It is expensive, but like, dude, the knowledge that you're gonna have, bro, you to add like say on the low end $100,000, right? This year off $6,000, bro, like that's worth it. So
Absolutely.
yeah, man. So I'm gonna put you, Austin, and Augustine in a breakout room.
Okay.
So let's see here.
I also I didn't hear back from that guy, by the way.
Okay,
David.
I'll reach out to him.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Got you, brother. Yes, sir. All right. All right, let me think of some other things because I wanted to cover a few things. A few more things. All right. So when you're choosing an agency or IMO, and by the way, Augustine and Christian, go into that breakout room I just sent you in with Austin.
Okay.
Oh shoot. I put the wrong person in there. Hold on. Hold on. Move to main. And then let's see. Christian, I'm putting you in room 2. There we go, bro. My bad, Isaiah. All right. There we go, man.
No, you're good, man.
Dude, good to see you on here, man. Happy to have you.
Good to be on here too, man. Love the content and love the energy.
Appreciate you, man. Did you have a question or not yet? Just listening in.
Not yet. Yeah, I'm just here to learn. I'm headed home right back to the office right now.
All right, brother. Sweet, man. So, all right. Let me see here. All right. I'm going to go over the script again a little bit and just why I say certain things. And how we say it. And then if you have questions while I do this, let me know. I want it to be interactive. And I appreciate you guys being on here so I can actually see you guys. So, let's see. Verbal judo. I thought you said final, give away your car. Sorry, I'm just reading these comments. Finding the why is tougher for me. Do you care to expand on that, Izzy? Digging in. Fair enough. Do you want to unmute and expand a little bit, or is that, if you don't want to, don't worry about it, but
Oh yeah, it's tough to get like the actual why out of them. Like if you just say, "Oh, why do you want this?" and then they're just like, "Oh, for my wife," and then they don't want to go into detail, like why,
yeah,
like
bro,
why
that's
is it that important to you? Like if it's not important, why are we on the call, type of thing.
that's exactly it, right? But it's just a matter of figuring out exactly how to say it to them in that way. And I don't know why my screen's not sharing, but your screen is paused. If any IT people are in here, let me know. I don't know what's going on. All right, whatever. All right. So on this script, asking why questions, right? So on my script, and I'm gonna drop it in the chat for people on here, just so you guys can use this. Let's see. There we go. If you guys are watching on YouTube, hop on Zoom. The link is on the right in chat. So hop on here. Oh, that's actually funny. I think Richard, I think that's his name. He just asked the same exact question as you, Izzy. By the way, Richard, hop on here, bro. I don't see you on Zoom. All right. So the question is, how do you dig in to get to the customer's why? Why are they looking for life insurance? All right. So on the script, this is right after credibility, right? And so you're gonna say, hey, okay, kind of, I guess, walk me through what got you motivated to start looking for life insurance. Like what's kind of the main concern here? They'll say whatever they say. Obviously, like you, like sometimes I even say this. Obviously, you don't like talk to life insurance all day, right? I guess what's kind of got you looking for life insurance now? Like, what's kind of the biggest concern for you? And like just being curious, right? And so if they don't crack and they're just staying surface level the whole time, say, I guess like, can I let's role play real quick, Izzy. So you're staying surface level. Izzy, can I be transparent with you for a second?
Mm-hmm.
Your family's lucky to have somebody like you, like a father like you that's just thinking ahead. And it sounds like if anything were to happen to you, you just want to make sure that your daughter would be taken care of and she'd be prepared. And I talk to a lot of people, and some people, they just really don't mind like acting like this stuff just doesn't exist and they don't even want to think about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, can I ask, like, how come this is so important to you, do you feel?
I just don't want my daughter to have to pay out of pocket.
Yeah.
Don't
So
want her to have to
okay.
take a loan out.
Yeah, bro. So using that right there will crack right through their, like, I think about it like I have like a Swiss Army knife, dude, and they're staying surface level, surface level, surface level. I'm getting their beneficiary. Okay, if God forbid if something were to happen to you, who's going to be your beneficiary? They tell me, awesome. And it kind of catches them off guard, right? Because they think usually when somebody's like, "Can I be transparent with you?" You're going to say something negative, right, towards them. And can I be transparent with you? And then you just hit them with that, bro, and you will get down to their why. They will tell you. Even the like, and guys, I posted this on my Instagram story earlier today, but the reason why you guys aren't closing as many deals as you want is because you're staying logical. You don't want to make it a logical conversation. You want to make it emotional. People buy on emotion. So you want to turn it from a logical to emotional conversation. So what I say is like, hey, I guess if God forbid something were to happen to you, let's say 3 days from now, right? Because none of us know the exact time or hour. But let's say something were to happen to you, Izzy. How would that make you feel as a father knowing that God forbid something were to happen, your daughter would have to pay for the final expenses? Kind of walk me through that a little bit. And like
I
making that
wouldn't.
like
Oh,
go ahead.
it wouldn't be a good feeling, just in
And
case she's not in a good position where she can pay.
yeah, and I guess like when you say like not in a good position, I guess how do you mean by that? Just so I understand.
So she might not be able to pay for it. She might have to take out loans or something like that just to
Yeah,
pay for the burial.
no, that makes sense. And like if you didn't do anything about it, right? And you kind of stayed without life insurance for the rest of your life, and she had to pay for it or maybe go into debt for it, I guess as a father and as a man of the house, I guess how would that make you feel personally? Like
Not
obviously you're
good.
dead. You're dead, but like how would
Yeah, it wouldn't.
how would how would that make you feel knowing that like that would be the situation?
I wouldn't have to put that burden on her. She would probably have a really tough time and go
Like
into
what would she
serious
have to
debt.
do? Right? Like even if like just say you didn't have life insurance, like what would she actually have to do, you feel?
Probably ask family members for money or ask money for church from church and stuff like that.
Yeah. No, it
Might be a
sounds
little
like
embarrassing.
mm-hmm. And I mean, are you okay with that being the reality like it would be now if you didn't have to or how do you feel?
No, definitely not. I wouldn't want that to be reality.
And I guess like I'm assuming like that like you'd agree having at least something in place would be better than having nothing in place. Is that fair to say?
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
So I guess if we could find something like that was able to make sure your daughter's not having to pay for the final expenses out of pocket, would there be any reason in your mind that you could think of that would be holding you back to seeing if we could even get you approved for this policy today?
No, maybe just the price.
Yeah, and we'll definitely talk about the price, but I guess like money aside, like if we could find something that was inside your budget today, um, would there be anything else holding you back to see if we could even get you approved?
No.
Awesome. And just so you know, I actually work with people on very fixed incomes, right? Like Social Security, disability, things like that. Would you say you're kind of in that spot too?
Yeah. Yeah, I make
Okay.
not a
Yeah.
lot of money.
Oh, totally. And between you and me, Izzy, that's probably actually why they got you over to me because I actually specialize with working with people on very low and fixed incomes. And speaking of affordability, right? Like, what's kind of a good, kind of comfortable number for you monthly, even in a tight month? Is that like $150 or $100 or $75 or 200 or 250? Like, what's kind of that good, comfortable number for you monthly, even in a tight month?
Probably 40.
Okay. Good deal. That's more than I was expecting you to say. And then I go into features and benefits, bro. And then you sold, right? Like you
Yeah.
present to those and that's it, right? So, dude, that's it, man. Like it's once you get that number, bro, it's over. So, um that's what I would say on that end, but like see how like I really like brought it down and I was like
Mhm.
and you want to have compassion on them, like, and actually ask them, like out of curiosity, like, if you didn't do anything about it and you just stayed without life insurance, what's your plan moving forward? Like, what's this look like? Making sure this is taken care of. Right? Like,
Yeah.
that's it.
Make it
Like,
a
it
fake
just doesn't
reality.
matter. Yeah. Like, okay. Yeah. Like, let's say something happens to you 3 days from now, right? None of us know the exact time or hour. But let's say something were to happen to you. What's kind of the plan moving forward if something were to happen? And then so do you want to get that? And then right after that, you want to cement it by saying, are you like okay, or are you willing to settle if that does become the reality, or how do you feel? And they're like, no. Awesome. Well, they just told you they want it. And then you say, if we could find something comfortable and affordable, whatever, it's called the killing zombies question. It's like a pre-objection handling, whatever. You say that, ask that question. If they say no, or if they say yes, like you said, price, let's talk about it, right? Let's figure it out together. And so number one rule of sales, do not pitch if you know you can't close. And so, okay, all right, I'm going to give you guys some secret stuff. I literally need to make a YouTube video about this. I don't know if I have yet or not, but there's a difference between an obstacle and an objection, okay? Before the close, before you ask for the sale, Miss Betty, which one is most comfortable for you? Everything before that seems like an objection is an obstacle. Okay. The reason why it's an obstacle is because there's some level of trust to you. And there's also some level of a closeness that you guys will have, right? This is rapport. So you guys are walking down the line together. It's easier to overcome an obstacle because you haven't pitched yet. You haven't sold yet. So you guys are together. Okay. Once you pitch, it's you versus them. There's instant separation that happens between you guys. So what's super important when you guys are going through the call, that's why we asked that question. Hey, if we could find something that's comfortable and affordable for you, is there anything holding you back to see if we could even get you approved today? Izzy said price. That's not an objection. That's an obstacle, right? You guys still are on the same side of the table. They still have some trust in you. But that's why we handle it, because obstacles are way easier to overcome than objections are. So then before you guys go for the close and you guys are actually objection handling now, it's way easier to overcome that because they're more open-minded to get what you're saying. You have to get on the same page as them and stay on the same page so you guys can keep moving forward. Because if that's not, and that's a deal breaker, and you guys can't work through that, like, you have to be able to find the other objection, right? Because they'll say price, but there's something deeper there. It may be affordability, right? If it is, then we'll just get something cheaper. But like, that's why you say, okay, money aside, like that's kind of the easy part here. Like there's so many different options. That's the easy part. I guess for you specifically, Izzy, if we could find something that was inside your budget, is there anything holding you back to see if we can even get you approved? It's not a real objection, right? It's just like an obstacle. You just got to kind of move through it and overcome it. Get on the same page as that. But for you guys, like, the price will come up. They'll share what that is. Like, hey, that's the concern. And then you're able to figure it out. Like, okay, is this actually a real objection or not? Like, is this something that's real or no? And so by doing that, money aside, okay, that's the easy part. We'll figure it out. Is there anything else that would kind of hold you back? They might say, oh, my spouse. Okay. So now you're getting deeper into it, right? They're just going to say money right away, but you want to isolate if it's actually a money objection or if there's something deeper going in. So that's what you say, okay, money aside, right? Let's put that off to the side for a second. That's the easy part. Do you feel like this coverage can be the answer you're looking for? Or do you like, okay, money aside, right? Like, let's put that off to the side. Is there anything else that you feel like? And if they say more things, then you have to overcome those things before you even close because you're going to get it there, but it's way better to overcome it beforehand. Way easier. So that's why the killing zombies question is like, okay, this is where you actually can obstacle overcome. And then you go back to, then it's way easier to objection handle because they're not going to trust anything you say at that point, but they're going to have at least more trust when you are overcoming obstacles. I have to go deeper into this. But that's a good thing. Okay. Let's see. Preston asked, FX targets really don't have that kind of money. If they did, they wouldn't be searching for coverage to cover for it. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying on that. Yeah, I mean, okay, Izzy, what I would say is for you, if they do have the money to pay out of pocket for it, what's kind of the main reason you filled out this form? Like, what was kind of the main concern here? Was it just to add a little bit more to like what you currently had, just to make sure that if God forbid something were to happen, they're not having to dig it out of that money, or is it more to like kind of leave a generational legacy for your family? Right? So you just give them a 2-option thing. It's a good thing. Dan said, "This is gold, bro. I love it." Happy to have you, bro. All right. With final expense leads, you have to divorce the way they think and what you do from them. It's a cardinal sin to project how you feel or how you think and feel on them. If they were logical or had the means, you wouldn't have them as a lead. Assume they have to have what you're selling, and you're the only one that can supply it to them. That's it, bro. I love it. Great mindset. Let's see. Richard said, keep them talking and repeat back to them what they said. Yeah, that's good. All right, cool. So that's kind of some of the script, but like, again, obstacles are way easier to overcome than objections. If you can't comply and you guys can't work through it, like an obstacle, don't pitch. Don't give them that satisfaction. Because they're not
Johnny,
going to
could you
close
give
with you.
an example of like an obstacle you're gonna run into a lot when
Oh, it's too
running one
expensive.
call close?
Oh, it's too expensive. It's like, what is too expensive? Like, I didn't even share any numbers yet. Like, where are you getting this information from? What's too expensive for you? Why do you feel like you can't afford it? Can you not afford $5 a month? I mean, obviously we're not going to write that, but like, what's kind of their logic and rationale behind that, right? We got to figure out exactly what their meaning behind that. Hey, like, can you expand on that a little bit? Like, have you been looking and you just haven't been able to get approved, or like kind of walk me through that a little bit? Because I'm just kind of confused. Like, when you say you can't afford it, how do you exactly mean by that? Just so I actually understand, right? You want to clarify exactly what the objection is and overcome that. And so it's like, how, I guess, like, can you kind of walk me through what's the rationale there? Like, have you like applied already and just haven't been able to get approved, and they're just saying like $300 a month, or what's that kind of looked like a little bit? Kind of walk me through that, right? Asking that question, it's just asking like, huh, that is strange. I haven't had, like, what I usually say is like, I haven't had somebody say that to me. I'm just kind of confused. Like, what were they quoting you? Oh, it's like $150 a month. Oh my gosh. Was that because you're in really bad health? No. And then they're defending their health now rather than like defending like the price. The price is the price. It just is. Does that kind of answer your question a little bit, Max?
Kinda. It would just I personally thought when you meant by objection, it's like something like a reason that like you actually cannot close said sale at the time. Whether it's, for example, you always taught us it's really, really not a good practice to actually pitch if someone's driving. Like, it's pretty obvious to tell if someone's driving, but if you're driving, if they're driving, they're not going to have their checkbook on them. They're probably not going to be paying attention, and they're not going to have any banking or payment information on them. So what's the point of actually spending the time to actually pitch if someone's driving? I mean, what are you gonna tell them to pull over? I mean, and it's dangerous too. I mean, at least wait for the policy to get issued before you risk their life. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? Pull
Quick,
over.
what's your middle initial?
All right, you know what? Pull over. We're doing this now.
Yeah.
I'm not letting you go another day without being protected.
Straight up.
I'm just not gonna do it.
Absolutely.
Pull over, or I'm calling the cops.
But is that what you mean by an obstacle, where it's like an actual like logistical issue that's gonna prevent, like, that's gonna really, drop your chances of actually running business?
Good question. So it's both, right? It's gonna be both. So, there are logistical things that you're not gonna be able to overcome, right? Like, if they're driving and you sense that, or if they're talking to somebody, just say, sounds like you're a little bit busy. That's not a problem. I actually just had to hop into another. I have another call coming up here in like 5 minutes. What I can do is, if you have your calendar handy, is we can just book a specific time with you. Now that way, you're not having to chase me down and vice versa. Would that be okay? Would that be appropriate? Would that be unreasonable? No. Okay, great. Then you go in, boom, book the appointment, and then just call them then, and then solidify it. Is there any reason why? Is there any reason why you wouldn't be available at this time? No. Okay, great. Sounds good. That's it, right? That's the double tie-in. So, let's see. Love it. What other questions you got? It's sad because, but you can feel better knowing no matter what, you left them in better than you found them. True. All right. How do you ask for social without sounding like a scam? All right. This is a great question. Okay. What you do is you have to get yes momentum. Okay. So what you have to do is you ask, here's the thing that you have to do. Make sure that it's just another question. It's just another question that you're asking. Just like how you ask, what's your date of birth? What's your beneficiary name? What's your social? It's the same exact thing. So what you're going to do is you want to get yes momentum. Okay. So you ask all the questions, right? Date of birth, favorite or date of birth, beneficiary name, street address, all this stuff, right? Verify all that, make sure it's all good. And then what you do is say, awesome. So just to verify, I have your name is this. Is that right? Yes. Awesome. And then for the let's see, and the best address to mail this policy out to is this? Yes. Okay, great. Now, a couple more things here. So are you a US citizen? Yes. Okay, great. And you, what state were you born in? Alabama. And then your social? It's like, that's it. Like, it's just it's not like a big thing. They're gonna feel the significance if you make it a big deal, but just don't. And then I like act weird if they don't want to give it. Why not? Like, this is for you to protect your family. Like, is that, I guess, still important to you, or how do you feel? Yes. Okay, great. Like, this is them giving you, yeah, they might say yes to a price, but like the real sale is social and banking. That's the real sale.
I'm sorry to interrupt, man. Could you put me back in that breakout room with Austin?
Yes, sir. Got
Thank
you,
you.
bro. You should be in there now. So that's how you ask for social without acting like a scam. What other questions you guys got? This is good. Super good. Let's see. All right. When you're picking an agency, here's something that's interesting. Make sure that you actually look at the comp grids, because they might say you're at 100% or 120 or 130, but look exactly what it's across the board. Because what happens sometimes is that they'll say, oh, you're at a 140, but like your graded is at like a 100 or like a one. Like, just get very clear about that and figure out exactly all, like, most product lines are at one certain commission level. Because it's easy to just be a facade, and like one product that they push all day is at like 110, and all your other carriers are at like 95. So just be careful of that. So yeah. You guys got any other questions? Are you guys making 20,000 a month already? Augustine, I'm going to put you in the breakout room again. I just sent you, Austin, over the link to be able to onboard. to Slack. I'm gonna just put you in there real quick.
Okay.
Johnny, are most of these people running final expense one call close? Or like are
Yes,
they running like
sir.
MP general life? Okay. Well, I think since you're on the topic of contracting and carriers, I think I don't know if these people like new. I think maybe it'd be a good idea to touch on like what is a good core carrier? Like what are we looking for when it comes to like that's gonna be our handful of carriers, whether it's half a dozen or you're just gonna run two. I mean, that's so critical, right? Because I mean, we were using back when we were in Symmetry, like we couldn't use those same carriers today because it's a completely different client, right? So I think the challenge is that people are coming from a certain IMO, they were running MP, they try to use those same carriers for final expense one call close. It's just not going to work because these people are so technologically challenged in certain cases that it's just they're going to get frustrated and hang up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Sorry to interrupt, man, but it kicked me out of the break room.
Okay, hold on. Click at the bottom right where it says breakout rooms. Do you see that?
Yeah. Join
Click
breakout
that.
room.
Yeah, join.
Oh, okay.
Good carriers. Okay, give me a second. I gotta shut this door. My family just got home. Oh, okay. All right. I'm in New Mexico right now, and it's like snowy, and I'm like, I don't like snow. I just have PTSD because I've crashed like 3 times in snow, so I'm like, geez, this is pretty scary. So, yep.
How do you crash 3 times, man? Come on.
All right. All right. So transparently, first one was my fault. I drifted really, really, really hard. I was trying to like act cool in front of my brother. He's 10 years younger. So I'm 22, he's 12. I was probably 17. He's like 7 at that time. It was just when I got my license and I was like trying to like act cool. He's like, we're drifting and he's like, this is crazy. And I'm like, I know, I'm crazy. And then all of a sudden, like I hit this turn really hard and then hit the side curb. Boom, smashed it and like destroyed the tire. That was the first one. Second one wasn't my fault. I was driving and somebody was coming down the hill and they couldn't stop because it was really snowy. And I was going through the green light and they just smashed into me and T-boned me. And that was really scary, just losing control. And then the third one, I didn't see it. And so I hit black ice and we were going probably 70 miles per hour on the highway. Didn't see it, slammed on my brake, and I 360'd off into this ditch. So that's pretty scary. So that's why I'm like, dude, I don't mess with this stuff. That's why I'm going back to Arizona in a week and a half. I'll be there next Saturday. I'm hyped for that because just to be back in the sunny. And I might have to go back to Florida with you, Max, or go to Florida for the first time. Anyways,
core carriers.
Core carriers. All right. Instant issue products. If you're doing final expense life insurance, instant issue. Max is pointing at somebody, not totally sure. No, I'm just kidding.
What's instant issue, Johnny?
Instant issue. Right when you sell them, get them. Make sure that you get an answer on the thing. So like if you're having to go do blood work for them, if you like for final expense, you do not want to do this. You don't want to write policies that you have to go get blood work done. You don't want to write policies that it doesn't give you an approval and like a policy number right away. Like good carriers, right? And there's scales to this, but overall, these are good ones, right? Like Baltimore Life, Great Western, Mutual of Omaha for the most part. They're usually pretty good about it. Aetna, Royal Neighbors,
SBLI Living Legacy.
Yes, SBLI. Trinity Family Benefit usually gives you an instant answer. Let's see. Let me just pull up final expense toolkits. Hold on. Toolkits. There we go. All right. Also,
Johnny, you consider Baltimore Life a good carrier but they don't have like a voice. They use like DocuSign, right? Well, so does
yes.
Royal, which could be a challenge, but Royal has the option for voice.
Yeah. I like that, right? You want to find one that you can do a voice signature with. Great Western is really good for that. Favorite 5? Aetna, I would do SBL Life if I could. Baltimore Life, I really like. American Amicable, Great Western,
Sika.
and yes, Sika. That's it. Those are Sika's awesome. They just got to fix their billing. If anybody works with Sika, just fix your billing, and then you guys are going to be the best carrier ever.
Oh yeah.
All right, cool. 3 I'm going with is CFG, SBLI, and AMAM. What's the approval like for them? Are they like Preston? Are they pretty cool? Or are they? I've never written them. Like, are they usually giving you an instant approval or decline, or how's that work?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still waiting to get my final. My state's screwing around with me and my license, but the people that I'm under, they've suggested these, and it's all instant issue. You know, no wait. It's simple. You know, just quick and done.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. That's really good. So, yeah, that's
Zala
really
uses
good.
CFG and he really likes it.
Yeah, Gonzalo loves
I'm
them.
interested in them. They're I don't have a contract with them, but I hear good things about them. But most importantly, I mean, I've noticed that they have social security billing, and their elite product is like, I mean, it's not going to beat Moo, but it's not the discrepancy isn't like $20, right? Like that's going to get replaced. But if it's like within a couple dollars, if you tie down the business good enough, no one's going to beat. I mean, unless you're really bad at tying business down. I mean, it's up there. Sometimes it's actually better than Great Western or AmAm. I mean, AmAm isn't the sad thing about AmAm is that it's not the rates like are not that competitive anymore. Like Mutual of Omaha just smokes them, which is really
Yeah.
unfortunate because they're a great carrier. But yeah, no, I see a lot of like good producers writing CFG just because of its simplicity. They issue fast. Yeah, no, I'm actually quite impressed with them.
Yeah. Armani, what I would say with Americo is my camera just died. All right. Let's see here. All right, cool. More of a upfront personal view. So Americo, dude, just be careful, bro, because there are agents and some of them might be on the Zoom that if they hear Americo, dude, it's getting replaced. So most people in the industry kind of realize that. It is nice because it's tough, but like it's quick, but there are other carriers very similar to Americo that have the ease of writing business with it. So that's just what I would say is like just be careful because they are pretty expensive.
The only, in my opinion, sorry, go ahead.
Is that the only reason that you would recommend not writing Americo is just because of the price and the ease of Americo being replaced?
Yeah, bro, it's just so great. Like, dude, it's just hard. It's hard. For me, it's
They're not
hard to
competitive on
justify
price
it,
ever.
right? Like, it's just part of the value that you bring, right, to the client is the ease of business, but also like price. And it's like if somebody's being able to get $15 or more cheaper somewhere else, it's just in their head, it's just going to be easier for them to do. And it's easy
Right.
to get replaced. So just be careful, right? You could do it. I'm not telling you not to. I'm just saying that it's just you're not setting yourself up for failure or you're not setting yourself up for the maximum success you could have in terms of like persistency, for example. So just be careful with it. That's all I'm saying.
What about the clients that just only have a direct express card?
So this is controversial. Some people say yes, some people say no. My opinion on it though is that it is tough to write, but it is easy, right? So it's like a lot of people aren't going to write them. So what's nice is that they're like, even though they have that, they're going to be thankful that you will write it. But you just have to think of the demographic that they are, right? Like they're people who are living on the government's money that like may not even be making more than $1,000 a month. Like they don't have a bank account. Like they're not, they don't have enough money that they're living on the government's bank. They don't even have a bank account. Like it's just it's a really low income demographic. So you just have to keep that in mind, right?
Yeah.
So you have to just solidify and triple check like is this affordable, and also make sure you find a true Social Security billing carrier if you do go down that route. Max raised his hand. What's up, bro?
So I just wanted to touch on Americo for a second. So I don't know like how long you guys have been in the business for. I don't know if you guys have actually handled death claims, but like, man, Americo, like they rarely will pay out a death claim if they die within a 2-year period. So like there's that. So you're opening yourself up to get policies receded. So they're not an ethical company. Like they do not have a high percentage of paying out policies. And when they do, it takes forever. Right. So you have to be the agent, you have to be the liaison between the family and the carrier. And with Americo, it's not pretty. Trust me, I've been there twice. So there's that. But also it's just like they're not competitive in price. Like I hear the words Americo come out of someone's like, I'm taking that policy, and it's too easy because even Great Western or American Amicable, there's like a $13 difference. The only time Americo makes sense is if they're quitting smoking, they have systemic lupus or Parkinson's. And even if they have Parkinson's, Transamerica will beat them. But Transamerica, the signature is too hard. So I would highly advise if you guys are being pushed to write Americo, do what you want. But in the final expense outbound digital world where your clients will be getting called by other agents, you better lock that business down real good, because in my opinion, Johnny, it's just they're not competitive in price at all, and it's just not a good product. You know what I'm saying? So I would advise against it. I mean, do what you want again, but they're not an ethical company. They're not.
Yeah, it's tough, right? Like it's that. Yeah, I haven't had that happen to me, so I don't know from experience, but I know it has happened. So.
Johnny, could you? I got a question for you. So, when you're running like someone like a card business, do you only, because only like a handful of carriers will even take that business, do you recommend getting those contracts as earned just to prevent like chargebacks, or like how do you tie down card business, because that can be challenging just because it's such a low income demographic. The persistency is, it's just going to be lower. So do you will you force them into one carrier that will only pay out as earned, or will you actually go with like a Great Western that will advance on a card?
Card, it's important to go. I would go as earned.
Yeah,
it's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's
just because of persistency.
Yeah, it's a quick fix, right? Like it's nice because you're gonna get advanced on it, but dude, like you could just it could come back to bite. And I don't know that from experience. I just know that could happen. So that's just what I would say with that. And by the way, this is a shameless plug, okay? Max, so if you guys aren't in school yet, apply to school. It's completely free. Max's case study is coming out, how he, with under $1,000 of ad spend, did 19.1K. So let me know if you guys need it. Dude is a closer savage. We did like a full interview, which is really cool. Private, just for school, like a 15-20 minute thing, how he broke it down. So he's here. He's really like, dude is real. So, and Max, can you confirm, did you actually do that?
I did. I mean, you can look at my, I post all my activity on Instagram today. I got my ass kicked today, full transparency. I got one hang up on a direct express card. It was like a $33 a month policy. Oof. I mean, like that's a smack to the ego. It's like, look, you need me more than I need you. And then I had a banking objection. I mean, it's gonna happen. I did over 200 dials. I got a good amount of talk time, but that was a good week. The leads were coming in. People were ready to buy. We had good engagement, and it happened. I got momentum going, but this week isn't as good. I've been working with Johnny since June, right? Been working leads, outbound, one call close. I mean, it works. I don't know if you guys follow Johnny. I'm sure you see like the numbers our team is putting up is fantastic. We're all working the same leads, and we're spending a fraction. I remember, Johnny, when we were at Symmetry, I mean, how much did it cost for a freaking Razor Ridge lead? And they sucked. I mean, they weren't even, it was like $45. And then like right away, they would be like, stop, like right when the first automation went out, because the automations were trash. And we're doing that. We're generating our own leads for like what, like $3? It's like $5-6 on an expensive day. It will change your business, guys. So I mean,
Yeah.
I got all the respect in the world for Johnny. It's life's just a lot more easy, especially one call close, man.
Yes,
I don't know if you
sir.
guys run two call close, but remember doing two call close, Johnny? You'd book an appointment, you have to wait around to work till 7, and they don't even show up, and you feel like you just wasted all that time. But one call close, it's nice because you just shut your laptop. That's it.
Done. Yeah,
Beautiful.
it's
Yeah.
all about, the name of the game is revenue generating activities. So like the real question is like, is setting appointments a revenue generating activity for final expense? And the answer is no.
Sure.
So final expense in term, like I just wouldn't do it. I would just close right at there on the spot. So
Mm-hmm. Johnny, do you mind if I ask Izzy a question? When you said integrity leads suck. You're talking about like integrity marketing group. Do you mind if are you from FFL?
Yeah, from FFL. They told me to buy integrity, but all of them were like, "Oh, I already got a call from this place," and it was terrible.
Uh-huh. Yeah, no, I'm sorry you went through that. I've
They
I've
don't
heard
even
that many
answer.
times. No, they don't
I
because
paid
they're
like
like,
1,000 twice. It was
mhm,
it was terrible.
mhm.
I wouldn't
I'm
recommend
sorry.
them.
Absolutely not.
Yeah,
No,
thank you.
that's like a big no-no.
yeah.
Yeah.
I have such
Yep.
trust issues. That's why I started generating my own leads with Johnny, man.
You got to, especially
Like,
this day and age. Like you have to.
uh-huh.
And it's consistency. Like I was actually talking to a guy yesterday, Mr. Malcolm Smith. Welcome to the live. Good to have you, man. But what I would say in terms of this, like I remember like getting onto like a lead vendor and like feeling like, dude, this is actually going really good. And just knowing like, okay, I bought leads, okay, I'm doubling down with this vendor, and all of a sudden the quality dips. And just like it was a gut wrenching feeling because it's like, dude, I remember my last week buying leads, I bought like $3,000 worth of leads because I'm like, oh, it works at $1,500 a week. Let me try 3,000. And dude, I made like 2,500 back. And I'm like, oh, my stomach just dropped. And I'm like, I'm not doing this again. I'm not going to another vendor again. Like I just do not trust it. So then that's like a few weeks later, I started generating my own leads and made it happen. So
Yeah, I
yes,
remember that
sir.
conversation we had. I'm like, where you go? How come you're like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
generating my own leads. You're like, I'm like, how much are you paying per lead? You're like, oh, about like $3. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Spending like on direct mail, and it's challenging. What I find upsetting is that like a lot of these IMOs, like they're the people that are like making the systems are not selling insurance. Like they don't know anything about phone reputation management. They don't know anything about any of the compliance laws, and so they're telling you to do direct mail leads, which are extremely expensive. And it's like, man, it's so hard getting people to pick up the phone, and then they're saying set an appointment and hope they pick up again.
Yeah.
So like Johnny, could you maybe touch on like what your experience with two call close versus one call close? I mean, I think that's a lot of people here are probably getting preached to do a two call close, which I strongly disagree with. Especially for digital leads. My goodness.
Yeah. So the name of the game, the name of the game is one call close. Like you have to think about it like you're never going to talk to this person ever again. Like that's how you have to treat it. So like anything you have to do like to be able to keep them on the phone, you just have to. So that's what I would say. Like it's a must to be able to make sure that that happens. So whatever you have to do, keep them on the phone so that you can keep going with them is absolutely crucial for you guys. So especially when you guys are one call closing or like when you guys are calling out, like just follow the script. If you guys don't have the script yet, I'm giving it away for free in school. And like for you guys here on Zoom, like I'll put it in the comments again. I think I already did, but just use the script. It's a simple framework so you guys can actually like just go through it. And if you just follow it and you guys like, I just made a 35-minute video on this. If you guys go through it and just implement what it says and listen to the one call close I've actually done, like you guys are going to be set up for success. So just treat it like another day, another like presentation, but like the reason why you're calling out is so that you can present, so you can close. So yeah, man. Wanted to bring Christian on here, dude. You came into the community yesterday, man. Super excited to have you on board, bro. Like, what's kind of your what are you excited for, man, joining the community?
I'm really excited. Yesterday I was terrified, I'm not gonna lie, guys. But I kind of spoke with everyone I needed to talk to, and it's just like, you know, you have to make the decision at one point to kind of make that bet on yourself. I was a W-2 employee. I'm currently a W-2 employee, getting paid 20 an hour, getting paid 50% of the first premium. And that's it. And it's
Yeah.
like, I know I'm leaving a lot of the table. I know I needed to learn how to sell. And the past 7 months, I've sold 113,000. So, I believe I can do it. It's just the actual betting on myself I'm really scared of. And I've heard so many people go into debt and, buy non-quality leads, do things that are completely insane almost, like a lot of people actually going homeless I've seen actually as well.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think this
man.
will be an excellent start into it. Kind of how to frame everything as well, getting started and starting my own business essentially.
Yeah, bro. Well, we're excited to have you here, bro, at the community. And I think like we're not gonna let you fail, bro. Like you full steam ahead, right? Like we have the system in place, we have the process. It's time to go, bro. It's ready to go. Right? Give yourself the 10,000 reasons how you're able to do it. 100, what, how much in 7 months?
113,000.
Let's go, bro.
Well, I guess today 114 something. 114
Closed
something.
another one today.
Yeah. I close average.
Savage.
I believe I'm averaging 1.2, 1.3 a day. Yeah.
Monster.
On completely garbage leads, by the way, guys. They're free, but completely garbage. I mean, I've talked to some of these people quite literally 30, 40 times. And they talk to other insurance agents probably 30, 40 times as well.
Dude, that's crazy that's ethical. That's not even ethical. Like that's crazy.
Ridiculous.
Max, what were you gonna say, bro? Okay, you're muted or something. Your mic's not working.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Sorry, I was eating my crackers here.
Snacking down.
So you wrote 114 on trash leads in your first 7 months in the business?
Yes.
That's wicked, dude. Are they like inbound leads, outbound leads? I'm assuming they're outbound. You're doing like outbound, one call close, final expense?
So it's one call closes. So there's a campaign 5. I'm at a pretty large agency. They do
Is there a
I guess
three-letter acronym at the end of the name?
dials, but they don't get rid of leads. I'm literally getting transferred the same people every day. It's just ridiculous.
Man,
So it's
that's
inbound
impressive.
transfers, but it's just like I might as well go on to the outbound calls and have the same luck as the inbound transfer.
Yeah. I mean, dude, if you're writing that much business with garbage leads, like if you're speaking to people that are texting you saying, "Hey, call me, I need insurance," like it's gonna be game over, dude. Because like realistically, once when you like get like your ads up and running and be like acclimatized and you're getting consistent lead flow, like you're gonna run into a lay down a day if you're actually doing the activity. Then the reason why people don't succeed is because they're not doing the activity. But clearly, you could do the activity, right? So I mean, you're gonna be fine, dude. Did you just get licensed?
So I'm 19. I got licensed 7 months ago.
19.
Yeah.
I'm living.
All right, guys, we're live, right? So like, dude is the next dude. Dude's the next guy. Him and Izzy.
Awesome. Good for you, guys. That's awesome.
Let's go.
Is anyone else here able to
Community's
drink
turning
besides
up.
myself? 19. Jeez Louise.
Bro, if I found this industry at 19, bro, I'd be like light years ahead of where I am now.
I'd probably be dead, to be honest. Good for
I'm
you,
full
Christian.
time as well, if that means anything.
What's that?
I'm full-time college student as well.
Bro, get out of here.
That's what I'm saying. I made a promise to myself and my mom last night. If I profit 20K in a month, I'm dropping.
Yeah. No, if
Bro,
you're doing
what
the activity,
happened to
dude.
10? I thought our
Well,
number was 10, dude.
the goal, hey man, I've been looking a lot. I'm gonna make it worth it. I'm gonna make it worth it. I
Let's
mean that.
go.
I mean, I'm talking 16-hour days, man. I'm pushing. I'm putting everything into it.
Let's
Man,
go.
you don't need to do like work that much. Like when I put up 19K in business, like approved business a couple weeks ago, like I didn't work that much, but I was just talking to people that actually wanted the insurance. And that's like the main difference is like when you own your own source and you're actually speaking to people that you know are exclusive to you and they're texting you saying, "Hey, call me," or you call them, like it's very rare when someone picks up the phone and they say, "Oh, I didn't fill that out." And if they did, I just overcome the objection. But they'll always say, as long as it's within like a week, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I filled that out," and then you just go straight into their script. But Johnny, that brings up a good question. Could you talk about outbound versus inbound? I never did inbound. I know you did for a while, but what's kind of your take on one versus the other?
I fully like to build a sustainable long-term business. I fully think outbound's the way to go because it's hard to be able to duplicate that with other people. It's hard to be able to get other people to like get inbound leads because they're super expensive. And especially when you're just starting out, you're probably not funding that. So like if you can teach somebody how to be an outbound dog, like a Max, like a Steven, like a Reyes and Izzy that are going to be, right? If you can teach them how to do that and teach somebody how to outbound dial, bro, inbound's it's not way easier. It's different, but it's very simple, right? Because outbound, it's like, you can hunt all day, all night. You can hunt your thing, but like if inbound, sometimes the upside is that you save time, right? You're not having to dial and you don't have to think about it. They just come to you. But the downside is that you're probably getting less opportunities than you would in outbound if you created your own source, right? So I just recommend overall doing outbound. Like outbound is it. I fully think that outbound is it. So that's what I would say for sure. Um Johnny sent me an inbound lead once and I panicked. But yeah. Yeah, do everything you can to control the things you can control. Yeah. Honestly, Max, I don't even remember what you're talking about, but I could see it happening.
It happens.
Okay, when you say you didn't work that much, is that less than 40 hours a week, Max? For 19?
Yes, I could pull up the net. So I don't think, if I could do this every week, that'd be great. But it was less than 400. It was around 400 dials for that week in its entirety. It was a lot of talk time, but net talk time did not exceed 40 hours. Right? Like I wasn't tracking my exact. I mean, Austin might have that spreadsheet, Johnny, but I'll pull up the exact. See. Yeah, so the 22nd, 96 dials, 23rd, 63 dials, 24, 70, 50, 51, 12. And those 7 days was like a $19,000 in approved business week, right? So if you're good at your intro and you're good at handling front end objections, but most importantly, you're speaking to people that actually want to buy insurance, like you shouldn't be doing that many dials. Some days, I mean, you're gonna have to do more than others, but on average, I don't think a lot of people, that are actually having good lead flow, Johnny. I mean, you could attest to this, aren't doing that many dials. Like Chase Gonzalo, like when the days when like leads are really coming in, they're maybe doing like around 60. And then they're getting, 3 to 5 presentations from that, and then from there they're getting 2 apps typically. That's what I found with the top producers, because they're good at doing their intros and they understand how to get over initial front end objections. If you could do those 2 things and you have good lead flow, you're not doing that much dialing and you're actually working. I mean, like, don't expect to like be in front of the computer for an hour. You get on there at like, I don't know, 12, go eat lunch, and then come back at like 3 for an hour. I mean, like, I might as well quit at that point. But if you're in front of your computer when people are, responding to ads, and you're good at the intro and objections, you shouldn't be doing that much dialing.
Yeah. 100%.
Intro and objections. That's it. Master those.
Yeah. 100%. Oh, Chase is about to hop in.
Kid's a stud, man. Chase. What a stat.
Chase, you're a celebrity, bro. Everybody's been asking where you've been at, bro.
I've been pounding the phones.
Let's go. Let's go, man. Love to hear it, bro. You closed a nice one earlier today, 1,500, huh?
Yeah, really nice one. It was nice to see a approval for a big app because I've had a couple of big ones decline, but yeah, that was nice.
Yeah, bro. Wanted to you just hopped in here, bro, but I wanted to ask, like, I know that we had our interview a little bit ago, but like, dude, what do you feel like the biggest change for you has been, like, in terms of like buying leads before compared to like coming in and generating your own and finally owning your source?
Yeah, it's like that scarcity opposed to like abundance mindset. Like I was like, for my first like 7 months in the business, the most leads I ever got in a week was 24. And like that's like I was like, what do I do with all my time? Like this doesn't make any sense. And I was
And
spending
how many
1,000.
leads were you buying? Like, how much were they a piece? Like 30 something?
They were $42. I was spending
Bro,
$1,000 a week for
Razor Ridge?
24 leads. I
it
had
Razor
was
Ridge
more,
the same source I was using.
yeah, Razor Ridge, yeah. I
Yeah.
I had more leads than that come in just today. Like I get more leads in a day than I used to get in a week.
Bro, how many leads have you gotten so far?
Dude, I'm looking at my CRM right now. I have 458 leads I've only called one time and like 150 that I haven't even called yet. So a lot.
Dude just out here skiing, not calling his leads. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I call him.
Maybe I need to get some of those leads. Maybe I need to pick up the phone and go do 10K in a day. Bro, so what's your schedule look like nowadays? Now that you're so busy and just bigwig now, like what's your schedule looking like? See, is he
I mean it's like 8 to 5 now. Like it was a lot more sporadic because I used to book appointments and everybody would always want to book appointments for like 6 or 7 p.m., which was annoying. But now I mean it's like 5:01 right now and I'm about to end the day. But I mean, yeah, I started dialing around 8 o'clock and I'm usually done around 5. It's kind of nice. Nothing crazy.
Yeah. And it's all about like actually working during that time. Cause that's really another thing that really creates freedom in your business is like if you just commit to doing the work at certain times and just actually working, like just actually pick up the phone and dial because you're only doing it for 8 hours a day. And especially, and I told Chase this was going to happen, but like when those leads start coming in like crazy, it does not feel like you have to work and you don't have to push yourself. Like it's just like, it's addicting straight up. Like it just feels like a video game. And it's like, all right, like there's so many leads coming in. It's just crazy that I just get to call them and like I have the opportunity to make money like all day. It's hard to separate it. And so that's another frame shift that you can have in terms of like really having the abundance mindset. Like, hey, it's okay. I can step away for a little bit. And I can enjoy things like going skiing for Chase, an example. But yeah, that's for sure, dude. It's so nice. Like when there's so many leads coming in, it's like, okay, they gave me an objection. I'm moving on to the next. I'll
And
put them in the automations and then like see if they answer again. But if not, cool. I'm on to the next.
And on top of that, some of them become very high intent because like there's so many coming in and with the automations running in the background, like this last weekend, like on the weekends, I usually try and work the mornings on a Saturday or Sunday and just like try and find a sale as fast as possible and then call the day right there.
Yep.
This last weekend, I made 41 dials and wrote over $2,000 of approved premium just because I was working like the super high intent people that were like really texting back. And then like today, my first dial was a $1,500 policy. And again, that was just somebody texting back that was like just ready to buy. Like the like laydowns will come through when you have so many coming in.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, no, Chase, like because I saw Chase come in like about like 45 days ago, about 2 months ago, and like man, like just sales ability, consistency. You've always been very consistent. You've had very bad days, you've had very good days, but you're just like, and that's what I admire about you. You're very, very like this. You're like a level whole life plan. Just boom. Me, I'm like variable. I'm like freaking someone tells me to go somewhere, I get mad, but you're just like so consistent. But he's always working when he's supposed to be working. And so if you're working when you're supposed to be working, when a lead comes in, you call them ready to go. I mean, I think the idea, Johnny, is someone explain. I forgot who it was, but when you see something on Amazon that you want to buy, right? Do you want to buy it right then, or what if the Amazon ad said like, oh, like actually I'm gonna call you back and we'll handle this in a day. You're probably not gonna be in the buying mood, right? But man, it's when you're consistent and you're actually calling your leads and you have like good sales abilities, like Chase, we were just talking about that before you joined. Like you shouldn't be doing that many dials consistently. If you're calling your leads, getting good lead flow, and you have a good intro, and you can handle those front end objections. I mean, Chase has been with the team for like what, under 2 months, and he's done it multiple days in a row.
Yeah, can I go over some of my stats from the last like 6 days? Because I think the consistency is everything in this business, and this is kind of like pretty crazy. So I'm gonna start on February 8th. So 6 days ago. 105 dials, 2 policies for like 1,100 in approved premium. February 9th, 52 dials, 1,743 premium. February 10th, 29 dials, 586 approved premium. February 11th, 12 dials, 1,440 approved premium. February 12th, 135 dials, 432 premium. And then today, like 80 dials, 1,500 approved premium. So it's not even like I'm making like a crazy amount of dials every day, but I'm just making the dials every single day. And I've found 1 to 2 policies every single day for the last 6 days straight. And that's not just by doing crazy activity. I'm just doing enough activity every day.
Yeah. Bro, it's crazy just to see where you've come, for sure. Like it's huge.
Man, Chase is a stud.
It's all thanks to you guys. You made an impossible business much more possible, that's for sure. Everything has changed in my business in the last 2 months.
Like
Everything.
what, dude?
I mean,
it's easy to say. Like, I feel like a lot of people say that, but they don't say exactly what it is. So, like, what is that for you, do you feel?
You put a really good way, like, right when I got into the business, or right when I started working with you, is like, it's not like a silver bullet, it's like 1,000 BBs. And it's so true, because it's like the combination of good lead flow, consistent work ethic, like good sales scripts, automations running in the background, having a lot of different carriers, like, and just like time in the business, like all of those things kind of come together to create something great. But like, you kind of got to be getting better at all of those things continuously to really improve here. But I mean, I feel like it's just a combination of all those things coming together in a good way.
Yeah.
And community.
Community is everything, bro. Community is literally everything. And a lot of people don't feel like they need it until they see it. And they're like, bro, I have been missing a huge part of the business.
Yeah,
Jason,
nice.
ask you a question.
Yeah, go for it.
So, like, what's like the biggest difference that your previous team was telling you to do versus Johnny's team telling you what to do? Like, what's like the main?
And by the way, they're not my agents. They're just in the community. I help them. So like, they're not direct to me or anything. So when we say team, we just mean community.
Yeah, it's true. We don't have any contracts with each other.
Before I started working with Johnny, like a big thing was like, well, so it was always like setting appointments. That was like a huge thing that was holding me back in the business that I didn't even understand at the time. But I was setting all these appointments, some of them for like 7 p.m., 8 p.m. And like my show rate was like 40%. So like going from setting appointments to just doing one call closes, that's like a massive change, because I run like double the amount of appointments now. But then also like the script, like my script used to be way different. Like I was never building credibility. I was never like doing trial closes. My underwriting wasn't very good because I didn't even know toolkits was a thing. So yeah, I mean, between like just making those two changes, which are free to make as well, like you don't have to pay money just to go do one call close as opposed to setting appointments or to get a better script. Like those two changes have made a huge difference for me.
Yeah, if you actually learn how to sell, right? Because like a lot of people don't actually learn how to sell, how to get on their side of the table, how to help them make a decision, how to overcome objections. And it's just the perfect storm and combination. Like if you figure that out, you're gonna win. It's like if you put it's all about putting everything that you can, all the variables in your favor so that you can win. So it's like if you can get the leads on your side and you figure that out, if you can get the sales on your side, figure it out. It's like, what other variables are there? Like, you can't make them say yes. You can help them get to that choice, but at the end of the day, like, you're not gonna have 100% closing ratio, and it's cool. It's just the reality. It's all good. So, I love the mindset part. It's really cool. Nancy, what's up, by the way? I know you're watching on YouTube, so.
Oh, Nancy, I have a New York lead for you. Sorry, I was just about to text you.
Steven has New York.
Yeah, but he doesn't have the Ladies Direct Express, and she has COPD, so that's a trend.
This whole time, Johnny, I was
Transamerica.
on. I'd sold the policy these last 15 minutes, and I got to the last question, and I was like, "So banking information, I just need your accounting and routing number." And she's like, "I don't have one." I was like, "Fuck." I was like, "How do you pay your bills?" She's like, "Money order," and I'm done. So I sent it around the community.
Stefan, you're supposed to clarify that in the beginning. No, it was one of my leads from the morning.
Yeah, Max sent me one this morning, and I called her. It was $100 a month. Checo would have paid me $600. And no can do, but someone else can do it.
Stefan, you're supposed to just establish method of
Steven,
payment after
Max,
underwriting. Steven, sorry.
Sorry.
Now,
No, I'm speaking with my managing partner tomorrow, actually, about in March, I can get alternate carriers. So I'm looking to see if I can get affiliated with like Moo and Sika. So in March, I can blow up this final expense game. But the term ones are going okay. I've actually got to call one of them right now. But yeah, for everyone who's not part of the community, the shit works. So
if you're from New York,
close that deal. And if you close that deal, let me know. Oh, look, Nancy comes on. I think it's because the New York lead.
Nancy, no big deal. You're gonna write a policy in front of the entire YouTube community right now. Okay.
Surely,
let's go,
she's
Nancy.
ready.
Let's close the deal.
Up.
Let's close
She'll
the deal
pick up.
live.
And I told her I'd had a colleague calling her. So do it live.
Nancy, there's a lead from this morning from the Bronx. She has COPD, emphysema. She could only pay with card. Okay.
I can only do term for New York.
You can't do Transamerica Immediate Solutions whole life?
No, I'm not licensed for New York with Transamerica with FFL.
God.
Who else is? Am I the only one licensed in New York?
Pretty much. New York's tough. I don't know if anybody else is in New
it.
York.
It's the beauty of living here.
Love it. By the way, I wanted to ask you guys, do you guys like the lot, like just the raw videos, or do you guys like the edited videos more? We'll love your guys' feedback.
I mean, honestly, I like both. It depends on what the subject is about. If it's something that's kind of like short and, concise, edited is really nice. But if it's, the raw ones have their spot. And personally, I like
feedback because it's like, it's fun. I actually really enjoy the content I like now is just raw. So that's why I was like, dude, I need to make some raw stuff. So I was just like, wasn't sure. One guy actually reached out to me. He might be watching this. He's like, dude, you're going to get blown away by the competition because you're not editing your videos. And I was like, okay. But I did a poll and 90% of you guys said that you guys like the raw. So I'm like, cool. Tim, what's up, bro?
What up, Johnny? How you doing, big time?
Dude, it's been a minute, bro. Good to see you, man.
Yeah, for real, man. For real. You got big time on me.
Nah, bro. We're just living the dream, bro. Living the dream. Let's go.
Amen. Amen. How's business been for you, man?
Good, man. Good. The community's popping off, bro. So it's cool to
I can
see.
see it is a full ass Zoom room. I see we got 10 people on here. What's going on, y'all?
Let's go, baby. Let's
Yo, Tim,
go.
can I ask you some questions? I watch a lot of your content.
Yeah, what's up?
You and Julian are I like your guys' stuff. I like your whiteboard.
Thanks,
Real high
man.
production, love it.
Thanks. It's printed.
What up?
Dude, I love it, bro. It's like the OG Cody stuff. It's like, dang,
Yeah.
bro. Everybody started on whiteboards. It got me thinking, like, dude, maybe I need to just order a whiteboard right now.
You should do it right now on the Zoom call.
I don't.
Yeah.
I'll send you an
Use Tim's
affiliate.
I
affiliate
need an
link.
iPad.
Yeah.
That's what I need. I need to buy
exactly.
an iPad and just go like iPad guru mode.
No, bro, keep it hood. Anyway, Tim, so what carriers do you and Julian typically use? Are you guys like doing like write what's best for the carrier, or are you sticking to like one or two carriers, like Digital BGA says?
Like write what's best for the client, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. See, Preston's comment just came in. I think he actually is. Either that or he's dealing with some contracting BS, which is very common.
Oh, did you
Oh, my
know?
life.
Have you hired people yet or not yet?
Yeah, we got we're being pretty slow about it. I've been doing a lot of interviews. We got 2 people that are on now, and then actually just hired somebody today. So we've been doing that.
Oh.
Yeah. Maxwell, to answer your question, we stick with like 8 core carriers typically. It's better than like, in my opinion, it's better than 2 because I don't like getting replaced. I always try to write what's best for the client, but you have to do that within the confines of what's reasonable and scalable. If you have like 50 carriers, like there's so many carriers out there, you could contract with them all. But I mean, just contracting between 8 carriers is a nightmare. I can't even imagine doing it for 50, but for me personally, I wouldn't want to do like a single carrier model where you can only offer one company. I've seen those, and I mean, I feel like your business just gets replaced a lot easier. I'm sure, Johnny, you would agree, right? You got experience with that.
Yeah. Not a good look.
Yeah.
So we'll like
Yeah.
just like a handful of carriers, like have a dozen.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much the main ones we've been using are like Great Western, Royal
They need to
Neighbor,
fix their billing.
Great Western.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on their billing? Because they don't have SS billing.
I don't think any guaranteed issue does. AIG is just as bad.
Mhm.
So,
Do
yeah.
you only use Great Western for GI?
Sometimes he'll write like a day one, but mostly guaranteed issue. It's the main thing. But yeah.
Well,
Johnny,
yeah, so
right?
we're actually having an interesting conversation, or I saw you and Tim in the group chat we're in, about Sika's billing, bro. So,
oh my God,
just whack or what?
You asking me?
Yeah, is that what you're seeing or you've seen?
You know how I feel about their billing, Johnny.
I've seen from a distance. We haven't ridden that much Sika, and I'm like, I mean, I like what they're doing. I think they have a lot of good things, going for them. I think they're trying to make a play, but we're just kind of staying away from it for now because, the way I kind of like describe our strategy on it is like, how like Elon Musk's doing like the whole Neuralink thing and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really care to be, V1 of
test.
Neuralink, you know what I mean? Yeah, I don't want to be the test. I'm cool to wait a few months, wait a few years, maybe a few decades, and then maybe jump on board. And so I'm just kind of like sitting back, see what happens with Sika. Like I don't want the hoverboard blowing up in my house. Like I'll wait a few months until they iron out the kinks,
Yeah. It's interesting because there's another dude that was really bigger in the space. And one of the agents in the community asked, and he's like, people are gonna use them and people are gonna buy the product. So it's like, if you don't, you're gonna get left behind. So ride the wave while you can. I just don't have an opinion on it because I see both sides, to be honest.
Are you ready?
I see how it could be beneficial, but I think at the same time, like it's kind of both.
Yeah. Are you writing it yourself or no?
I have not yet.
Okay. Yeah.
I wrote a lot of Sika last month. The challenge with Sika is that, and like I think some other carriers, that they don't have an integrated payment verification software. So, for example, I put 16 apps up on just Sika last month, and six out of the 16 did not issue due to failure of payment, right?
Mhm.
And then they also don't offer social security billing. So it's like you pair those two together. I mean, what's your persistency going to be, especially with an unhealthy client like that? So I don't
Right.
know. You're pretty well versed in the industry. I know like digital BGA, they use Guy Act. Do you know of any other like payment verification, like third party payment verification softwares out there
You mean with like to do what?
to
Like, what do you-
verify that a valid routing and account number, and that there's, well, routing numbers are easy, but like that's a valid account number, then it has funds and it's open, right? Because they don't do that. You can put any number you want, but if they don't receive payment, policy's not going to issue because they pay on issue.
Yeah. No, I mean, we haven't really done anything like that. Honestly, I mean, the biggest thing, like, we're just very careful about who we'll write and who we won't, like client wise, I mean. So we'll turn people down, tell them we're not going to write them. Like, I haven't done any like payment verification, to be honest with you. Maybe I should. I don't know. Maybe I'm behind on that curve, but we've made like our main thing is just trying to keep it simple, keep it scalable, and maybe that is scalable. I don't know if it is, but I personally don't know anything about it.
Yeah. Elijah, what's up, bro? I don't know if you could hear me, dude.
Johnny, do you have an email list?
An email list?
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually do.
Do you like blast these out to your email list whenever you do them?
No, sir. I need to get into that, bro. That's for sure.
How many people do you have on your list?
Like to take a little extra.
To be honest, bro, I don't even know.
Dude.
I collect and build, but I don't use the email list. I need to.
Yeah.
I
Dude,
get spammed, bro, by people wanting to do emails for me, and I'm like, definitely could, but
just write them yourself.
yeah, bro. Well, I'm just saying I get inundated, bro, by like people asking newsletters. Cardinal Mason, bro, is like crushing. His course is just popping off. So, by the way, guys, in like 20 or 5 minutes or so, we're gonna have the marketing guy behind the community, and behind me that's helped me a ton. He's gonna be hopping on and kind of dropping some marketing nuggets. So, stay tuned. But yeah, man, I definitely need to get on that for sure.
100%. 100%. Who's your marketing guy? Is that Jonathan?
No, it's Elijah.
I don't think I know him.
Bro, he's the best kept secret.
Very cool. Hell yeah.
Yes, sir. What I'm realizing is here's what's interesting is like for me, and this is going back to what we were talking about earlier, is that the raw videos I enjoy, like the new Hormozy stuff. I don't think I've listened to or watched one of his videos for like a long time. But in terms of his old stuff, like that's the stuff I binge. So that's why I'm trying to make those type of videos. I think it makes sense, especially like nowadays. You think about it, like Sam Solik's blowing up. I'm sure a lot of you guys know who that is, and it's like his stuff is just raw and real, and it grows a super like real, authentic relationship with people. And I think edited stuff, I just feel like there's a layer there that I don't feel like is as raw. So that's why I'm like, dude, we'll just see what happens. We'll play it out. So, and I really like the content in general myself. So,
do you watch Sam Ovens? Have you ever seen him?
Oh, bro, of course, dude. Of course. I love Sam Ovens, but his stuff is like so old, bro. It's crazy. Like his stuff is like 5 years old.
Yeah, it's still quality though.
Dude, it's so good. It's so good.
Or Alex Becker is another good one. Have you ever seen his stuff?
Dude? Yeah, it's funny because there's a guy that I was watching and he helped Tanner, the dude who helped you. And I was like, what the heck? I don't know how. I don't remember, bro. But I was listening and I was like, dude, this is a case study. This is Tanner. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. But
Is it,
I don't know.
is it the guy that like went to jail, Wes something? Wes Walker or whatever his name is?
Dude, I don't
Watson.
remember,
Watson,
honestly.
that's his name. Yeah, yeah.
Wes Watson?
That guy. Yeah, Wes Watson.
Maybe
That's my
it's
best
him.
friend, man.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I'm a big fan of Watson though. I've been watching him for a while. He's very, very raw content style. Well, he used to be. Kind of
Yeah.
edited now.
My buddy paid him like $7,000 for coaching or something.
Nice. How'd that go?
I think it went well.
Wes,
Nothing but good things to say about him.
yeah, his business consulting, bro, is $15K a month. I was like, that's not cheap, but I think to get some one-on-one time, I don't think it's a horrible idea either. So
No.
I
So
don't know, man.
Johnny, what is the community? I've been tuned out, I guess, a little bit. What am I missing? What have I
Yeah,
missed?
bro, the community is a group of agents scaling their lead source. We got private coaching and pretty much just people in general scaling themselves, and we like have live dial rooms, we have community access. I have a course, so it's just pretty much people wanting to scale to pass 20,000 a month by themselves. So really it's just a group of independent agents not wanting to build a team yet. That's actually we actually have an inner circle. So there's like an inner circle too, of people who have hit 20 and want to go to 40. So it's pretty cool. So that's really what the community is, dude. It's my coaching program.
That's awesome. Yeah, Johnny's
Sure.
the man, dude. This guy's we've done a lot of business together. Johnny definitely knows what he's talking about. So you guys are in the right place for sure.
Appreciate you, bro. And it's funny because I feel like your YouTube videos have been like your personal ones, your personal channel have been like getting recommended to me. So I'm like,
really?
Boy? Yeah. Yours and Julion's, bro. I'm like, there we go. This is the play that you guys were talking about a year ago or two, a year and a half ago.
I'm probably gonna start making more like I like doing the whiteboard stuff. Honestly, I might do some more of that for my personal.
Bro, it's so good. Like, it's just the raw stuff. I'm like, this is the stuff that's actually good. And I'm like, this is just the life of making YouTube videos. I'm like, bro, why is this like performing so bad? Like this, I feel like is so
Like
good.
the edited stuff or what?
No, the nun edited stuff. Just like
saying,
the
oh,
raw
it's
whiteboard
that?
stuff. I'm like talking about acquisition costs, talking about lead costs, talking about leads, talking about things are like that actually people should know about the industry.
Like
It's
what? Like what video would you say is performing bad on your channel? That you
no,
think
like my stuff, just the raw stuff. It's like not as engaging. And so I'm like, dang, bro. I think
you
I just
still got. I'm looking at it now. You still got like over 100 views on every video.
yeah. I don't know.
At all.
Yeah, bro. We'll see. We'll see what happens. It's just a test. I'm running a test pretty much this whole month, dropping one video a day. So it's definitely
We're doing the same
different.
thing.
Huh?
We're doing the same thing.
Yeah, it'll be interesting, bro, because it's like people who will watch a video and you correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's like going to that level of consistency for me, that's more than doubling. It's like there's only so much time people have. And it's like, if there's time for watching videos, one video is a good amount, but like every single day, like the people who like have watched my stuff were like, dude, did I miss something? Like there's 6 videos I haven't watched. And then it's just like, it's a lot. So I don't know. It's just testing the mass play. So we'll see what happens. I don't know.
I think it's just more shots at bat, dude.
Yeah. I was listening to a Hormozy thing today and he was talking about like volume versus like quality. And I think like, especially like the analogy of the potters and like the pottery class. And it's like, there's 2 people that got graded and this is just good business and sales stuff. But like, there's 2 people, right? There's a group of the class that they all built pottery and the way they got graded was how many pieces of work they did. And the other side only had to create one pottery, one, I don't know, canvas or something. Yeah, one pot. And the people on the left side the people who actually like did more volume actually had better quality stuff. So I think that's just good, like just good stuff in general, like in sales and business, in life. It's like the more at bats you do, the better that you're gonna get.
100%.
So it's all about just like creating flow, optimizing flow, monetizing flow. Like that's what I like. I've kind of built it into that. Like at first, you're not going to be good. You're probably going to be less profitable than you think. And then as you go work the numbers, track metrics, you'll be able to actually scale to what you want. So
yeah, 100%. Definitely true. Yeah, dude, I remember we used to do so much editing on the videos. And like we did these like crazy live dial breakdowns. I'm sure some of you guys have seen them. Like we would spend like $400 on editing, and I would take like 5 or 6 hours breaking down the call, and then we get like 600 views. And then Julian does a day in the life where he's like filming like this, like up his chin, which you like a day in the life of an insurance agent. It's got like 700 views and no editing at all.
yeah,
It's crazy.
yeah. I don't know, bro. It's interesting for sure.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, are you planning on building an agency or just focusing on the community, or what do you
Yeah,
see?
focus on the community, dude. Agency may be in the running at some point, but definitely just growing the community, expanding, and then just pretty much getting the process dialed in from 0 to 20, bro, and helping agents, whatever IMO or agency that they're with, helping them out with that, because I think it's a huge, massive thing that people need. And it's like people don't want to leave their agency too. And it's like, all
Very
right,
true.
cool. Well, let's just prove out the process at every agency and then scale. So, but I did have a talk with David Duford, and he was like, bro, the thing you need to be thinking about is equity. It's
What do
all
you
about
mean?
equity. So it's definitely interesting. Agency building is huge, and I see the value in it, but this is just where I want to focus a lot of my time now. And it's cool because we get to do a lot of cool things now. So, yeah,
So is
man.
everyone on the call in the community, or what is
No.
up? Okay.
No, this is just to anybody. I put it on YouTube. That's probably where you found it, I'm assuming.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So it's just some people are, some people aren't.
Should I blast this to the email list and flood your Zoom room and make it crash?
I'm down, bro. That'd be sick.
Let's see.
Devin just said, so Devin came with no sales experience and today just closed 2 deals. So dude
Oh
came
yeah, dude.
straight out of the army. So it's cool to see his progression because like dude they were closing on all cylinders today. So Devin got 2. I'm surprised Max or Nancy didn't get any. Like,
Nancy,
dang.
I feel like we've met or talked sometime before. Actually, I know we've talked at least at one point.
Yes, we have.
When was that?
When I was looking into generating my own leads.
Ah, I do remember that.
Mhm.
How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good.
Good, good. It's good to hear. Let me shoot this little live stream out here. Let's see. Johnny, we'll get you get a little boost on the channel, my man.
Appreciate you, dude.
100%.
Let's rock and roll.
Let's see. Live Q&A.
Isaiah, how much have you sold, bro? I know I don't want to put you on the spot. But
No,
I'm
you're
just
good, man.
curious.
Hey, man, that's what it's all about. I've gotten 2 policies under my belt, and this is my going on the 2nd month.
Okay. Sweet,
Yeah,
man. I feel like what do you feel like is kind of preventing you from doing like 1 a day?
lead flow. I'm just starting out, and I really didn't have money to invest. I've put about $400 into it, and my upline was really against the Razor Ridge, so I'm glad I'm in this opportunity just to hear there's other people that were with Symmetry. And I was kind of excited to jump with Razor Ridge, the digital leads, the Google leads. So I was gonna do the Cody Askins. He was doing generating your Facebook leads. So it was 300 initial down payment, and then it was $15 a day for the creating your own leads with Facebook.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I'm just putting
how much
myself
were
out
you
there.
expecting to sell on that? $15 a day.
I mean, I'd like a policy, 2 policies a day. I mean, I'm not
Yeah.
I'm new, man. I want to put myself out there and just learn from as many people as I can because,
Totally.
I want to learn.
Yeah, bro. So I'll just be transparent with you here, bro. You're not selling 2 policies a day on $15 ad spend. I'll just be transparent with that, bro. Like
Right.
if that's what you've been told, and maybe you haven't, I don't know, but like that's just really unrealistic. Because if you think about it, if you just break down cost per acquisition, right, which is how much you spend to get a sale, people doing $15 for an acquisition cost, like reach out to me and let me know because that is insane. So, that's what I would say. Like, just I would not do that.
Right.
Yeah. So, it's probably taken like if you're doing $15 a day, probably I don't know, like maybe 10 days to make a sale. Maybe 8.
Yeah.
I don't know. So that's what I would say. Was that. So yeah, that's what I'd say, bro. So like $15 a day, just know that's your expectations, right? Like it's
Right.
like $15 a day is not a lot. You're probably like, how
Yeah,
many
I know.
states are you in?
I'm just in Colorado.
You might get 1 lead a day, if that. Just so you know, right? I
Right.
just want
No,
you to
no.
have fair and realistic expectations of what that looks
Oh yeah,
like.
exactly.
So it's not, I don't know, 15. Yeah, $15 with 1 state. Yeah, maybe a lead a day. Maybe 2 on a good day. Because what are you targeting mainly? Final expense, mortgage protection, IUL?
Mortgage protection and whole life for kids.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't expect it, to be honest, to be like crazy transparently. So that's just expectations, right? It just is.
No, exactly. Exactly.
So yeah. So typically, like if you're at 1 state, you're probably looking at $8 to $10 leads, maybe a little bit more. 15, maybe. And then if you want to, if you go 5 to 10 states, you're gonna get a lower lead cost. So that's what I would say there.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, man. But just so you know, kind of expectations there. But other than that,
Sweet.
man, congrats on the 2 sales.
Thanks, man.
Were those on aged mortgage protection or?
No, these were IUL, and then they were through people I knew.
Nice, man. It's awesome, dude.
Thank you. I'm in the right room. I still work the 9 to 5, so I'm just saving up and just gonna keep watching your content and just keep putting myself around winners.
Yeah, bro. That's huge, bro. Congrats, dude. I think right now, and I've told a lot of people this, but $0 to $10,000 a month is the hardest thing you're gonna do. Making like going from 10 to 20 is not as hard, but going from 0 to 10 with no momentum at a dead stop is so tough. Like this is the most challenging part of the journey it's going to be. There's also obviously different problems that you're going to face in your business and your life. But I think going from 0 to 10, dude, you don't have any skills and you don't have any momentum.
Right.
Right? So getting to that spot, like that is huge. And then once you do that, then you have a skill to get to from 10 to 20. It's just doing more and doing better, more and better. So I think for you right now, just focus on like building the skills necessary so you can get out of that job. And then what I would do if I were you is find your jump point, whatever it is, whether that's 10,000 in the bank, 5,000, 3,000, whatever it is for you, bro. 6 months of savings, 3 months, whatever. Figure out a number and jump. Okay. Cause like a lot of people get sucked into like, I'm going to wait. It's not the perfect time. It's not the right time. But if you have a premeditated number or a point that you are going to jump, do that and just jump. Right. So like think through, plan that out, really think through that. Cause you don't want to like, I don't know if you have a family, whatever, but like, or even yourself, right? Like to be able to be in the best possible position, if you are able to find that number and you're able to jump at that point, do it. Like no turning back. But find that number that you feel like is going to be good for you and just do it.
Perfect. Thanks, man. I'm writing all this down. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Hey, do you mind if I jump in real quick and say something?
Yeah, brother, for sure.
Just as a comparison, for me, what I'm planning on doing is I'm going with lead to client CRM, and I'm doing their leads are business in a box. Those are 17 a piece, but if you get 30 of them, you get the CRM and all their stuff built in, comes with it. So what I'm planning on doing is doing that. Those 30 leads, 17, that's 510 a week. And then I also plan on supplementing that with Cody's program, which is 250 to manage the account. But I plan on putting like another 500 a week in there. And that's really where I got to get to get the amount of leads so that you can just take constant swings, because there's no way to bargain basement hunt in this business at all.
Couple questions for you. How much total are you going to be spending a week on leads or ads?
As soon as possible, I'm gonna be close to $1,000 a week.
Okay. Second question I have for you is, how many states are you in?
Right now, just Louisiana.
Okay.
I will be bumping that up, but I'm probably going to cover most of the southern states and then get either California or Washington to get some West Coast, so I can get some later in the day call times.
Yeah, I'd find five states, dude. There's states that are really cheap. Find 5 and then just go from there.
Yeah.
And I'd just say, like, I don't know, because what's the other setup besides Cody's that you're just saying?
It's the lead to client CRM. They have a lead system called Business in a Box, and so it's their leads with their CRM. It's separate business, obviously, but they come tagged in everything that works really well with the CRM, so it meshes really well. So it sets. You can expect out of their leads about 20% self-set, and then with the AI, it has that drip campaign, and I mean, the closing rate's pretty good, and I've talked to a few people that use it, and it's pretty consistent across the board.
Yeah. Cool. I'm curious to see how that works. I honestly have no clue about either of those, really. Some people that have come onto the community like have used Cody's before. I don't know how well or not good it is. I genuinely don't. So, and I don't even know the business in a box. That's the first time I've heard of it. So it's awesome, bro. I hope you crush it.
Yeah, like I said, I'm just waiting on my state to get their stuff together, and then hit the ground running.
Yeah, bro. That's awesome, man. You're in Louisiana?
Yes, sir. Southeast Louisiana.
Love it, bro. It's awesome.
Right between Baton Rouge and New Orleans.
Sweet, bro. That's awesome. Let's see. Got a couple questions in here. I want to learn how to sell. Oh, wait, hold on. I just want to learn how to sell proper script tonality and just get the basics. I just made a video on that, going super deep into the script, about 35 minutes. Go check that out. Going over it. And also, if you guys haven't joined the school community, it's completely free. Go and apply there, opening it up later this week. We got Max's case study that did $1,000 in 1 week. Was spent 1,000, approved and issued 19K, huge, on 400 dials. So go check that out. It's completely free. But that's where I'm going to be giving my script away too. How do you learn how to set up or generate Facebook leads? Do you have a training video? Super good question. I do have videos on there. And then on top of that, like I do have 2 videos on YouTube right now, just about Facebook leads, generating those, a training video on those. So just check that out, like Ultimate Guide to Facebook Leads. I think I can actually just put it in the chat as well. Let me know if you guys like those videos. If you guys want to learn more how to generate leads, let me know. Chase, what's up, bro? Good to see you again.
Johnny, I got a question for you.
What's up, bro?
And Tim, you might be able to chime in on this as well, because I heard you were building an agency. But if you were going to build an agency and you could only go the route where you like give them 50% cut and pay for all their leads, or just like the traditional downline route, but they're paying for their own leads, like which would you choose and why?
For lead route, an LOA program, because I think more importantly, like the failure rate's high because there's not a lot of support in the industry. And I think if you give that training, if you give that support, there has to be a mutual incentivization for both parties. And so the reason why there's no training, there's horrible leads, there's bad comp structures, whatever it is because of it's like just one way. Like if you don't succeed, I don't care. I don't have any incentive to train you. But if you do succeed, I get all the upside and no downside. So that's why I think overall, in terms of growing a business, you don't need as many agents. It's for the agency owner, if you figure it out, it's really profitable. And then on top of that, the retention's really high if you train them right and you have a decently good comp structure. And there are some LOAs out there that I've heard of, that I've talked with, that like the comp structure isn't insanely great. So what I would say is just find a place that will give you decent comp for that, but like you can't really negotiate that. But what I'm saying is like find a place that'll give a fair comp and then give you all the support training for free. And then they're incentivized heavy to train to get you the best leads. Everybody's incentivized and everybody wins in that situation. So that's my biggest advice in terms of growing an agency. I see the other side, but I think overall, what's best for the client, agent, and the owner is the LOA free lead program.
Are you like looking to build an agency or looking to join one, or what does that look like?
No, I'm already with Due Ford and everything. And I'm not really looking to build an agency just yet. I'm still doing a lot of producing, but it's definitely like on the roadmap. And I'm just kind of curious to like hear people's takes on both those models.
I think honestly, like I think it depends on your skill set as far as which one to build, because if you're going to do a free lead model, like that can go really well, but it can also go really poorly. And a lot of it, like you need to be a marketer to do that, right? Like we got started, Julian and I, and Johnny knows this. We got started at a free lead program, and they were doing like direct mail gift card leads, and they built a massive company. Like they sold to Integrity, they made a lot of money, but like the reason we left is the leads dried up. So like if you're going to start a free lead program, you have to be like a really good marketer, because if you don't, it's going to backfire on you. And then also like you have to be selective about who you hire. Like we've had like over 100 applications. I've done probably 40, 50 interviews, and I've hired like 3 people. So like there's a lot more work on the front end to screen people if you do a free lead program, because you're holding all the risk. I think the upside is bigger, but I mean, I think if you're just trying to start like a simple brokerage agency, I'd say there's less moving parts with just bringing people on at, high comp and not offering leads and not offering as much support. That's probably an easier model to start. The lead model, free lead model, is definitely higher risk, and you need to have that marketing skill, because if you just bring people on and promise them free leads and then can't deliver, you've created more of a problem than I think is worth.
Huge.
That's good. So are you doing, for your agency, are you doing a mix of both, or only the
No,
free lead program?
we're just doing free leads. We're just doing free leads, but Julian, like he's in the Zoom room selling and training agents all day long, and then I'm just doing marketing like constantly. And like if we didn't have that dynamic, because we honestly like we weighed out both situations. And for us, I think it's easier. Like our goal is we want to build and scale an agency to 100 million and then sell it. And I think from like a value of a company perspective, a free lead model is going to be more valuable, because it's like there's more systems and processes that somebody can buy. Whereas if I just build an MLM, like we could do that. Like I could just post a bunch of videos and try to be like the Iman Gadzhi of insurance and basically just, suck in a bunch of people. But like if I want to sell something, I don't think that's as valuable as like a system that produces insurance. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's really good. I appreciate that.
For
It's
sure, bro.
interesting to think about when you think like that far down the road of like, because you do build enterprise value and equity in these things, like it's definitely I guess just smart to think that far ahead.
Dude, that's the only way to think. You got to think long term.
Would you ever consider having like a program where you start people on free leads and then eventually graduate them into a higher comp where they start paying for their own leads? Because I feel like the one downside of like if you do have a free lead program is if the agent becomes very competent and they start selling a ton of policies, they might realize that it might be more lucrative for them or profitable to actually start paying for their own leads and just get higher comp.
Yeah, it's interesting. Actually, I talked to David about that the other day. And I mean, I don't know, maybe at some point that would be an option. But like, ask David how many people he's recruited from SLS. Are you familiar with their model?
Senior Life Services.
What is that?
So they do a free lead model, 50-point comp. They pay for everything, and then you can like build an agency under them. Like, ask David how many people he's recruited from them, and he told me it was one person. He only got one person from them. Like, people there aren't really leaving as much because they have everything like handled for them. They're very satisfied with where they're at. And he recruited one person, and she was like, she ended up not going through with it because she's like, maybe I make 200 where you're at, I'm making 150 where I am now, but I have no risk here. And so like, for some people, the broker model makes sense, but honestly, like, having been in the industry for 3 years, and Johnny, I think like you can probably agree on this, and like for everyone, the free lead model is not for everyone, but I think for most people, that's probably better than having to manage all these moving parts. Obviously for some people, like the moving parts make a ton of sense, but you need to be that super entrepreneurial person that wants to juggle all that and wants to run a business instead of having a sales job. Like, if you want the sales job, if you want to be a salesperson, like, selling insurance as a broker is not being a salesperson. It's being a business owner. And so I think that's the biggest differentiator. And so like, for the people that want to be business owners, like, they're going to try broker model and maybe they'll see success, maybe they won't. But for the people that want to be salespeople, those are the people that are going to succeed in a free lead model. And if the upside on that model is good enough, you can keep them around, which is what we're trying to do.
I like it.
Yeah, it's the drug of comfort. And it's like, if you really get somebody and you have a successful model in that way, it's hard to leave. And that's what he's talked to us about a lot. It's like, it's a really good model set up, and his retention is like insane. And he's got agents doing 29 policies in a week. Like, that's insane for the agent, insane for the agency owner. And I think it's just overall a really good system. But you just have to, I think in that, and I don't have experience with this, but you have to hire the right people. You have to, like, that's what it's all about, because you are on the hook and you're on the line if you don't make that happen.
Yeah, I agree. Are you on David's broker side or his free lead model, or what are you on?
The broker side.
Okay. I think I've seen you like near the top of the leaderboards, right?
I honestly don't know. I don't look at them.
Okay.
I didn't even know he had a leaderboard, to be honest.
It's in his school group. Johnny, do you still write under David? You're technically in his agency, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm under him.
Nice.
So, yes, sir. And Max is too. So,
really? I didn't know that.
Yes, sir. Sweet, guys. So we got a marketing masterclass coming here. We just got Elijah that just hopped in. So he's helping us out in the community, the marketing side. Elijah, what's up, bro?
Yo, what's going on?
What's up, dude? Good to see you, man.
You too.
Guys, if you guys don't know who Elijah is, he's actually helping us out a ton with the marketing side. He's helped me a ton with my marketing, with Chase, Max, all the guys here. And so just want to bring him on, just do a quick Q&A and a just like, I think, breakdown a little bit. And this is going to be in the community in school. It's going to be a free breakdown of how Max did 19K on $1,000 ad spend in 5 days. And that's all approved business. But I wanted to kind of give a sneak peek into that in terms of that. I think give a brief kind of backstory into what you've done in the ad space a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, happy to. So I started running traffic to an e-commerce site, multiple e-commerce sites that I own, probably about 4 years ago. and advertised and sold prior to that too, but really did like paid and scaled on Facebook and TikTok. And then Johnny and I started working together for his insurance ads themselves. So moving from things being bought online to lead gen, and then you guys picking up the phone and closing. And so him and I have been doing that for, gosh, I don't know, maybe 6 or 8 months on just that side, but have known each other much, much longer than that. And so, was able to help him, really him just being a great closer, but able to help him hit that 73K back a couple months ago, and then help you guys too with those who are in the community scale and close consistently. So that's big picture my journey, e-commerce to start, and then lead gen specifically for insurance for about a year or so from that point.
Yeah, bro. And so kind of like I wanted to break down a little bit for like Max and his strategy, and like people here wanting to either start generating their own leads now or maybe later. Like what would you say, like somebody from zero, knowing nothing about generating leads, wanting to start from like scratch, right? Like what are some tips or some advice that you could give them?
Yeah, so talking, just to clarify, so someone who, let's say, has been buying leads, maybe wants to generate their own, but has like zero clue where to start.
Yeah.
Okay. So the very, very first thing I would tell you, and it's the first thing I did in ecom and same thing in insurance, is ads library, so on Facebook, is your best friend, because that is going to show you every single thing that's running right now, either from competitors that you know that you have, so other people's agencies, lead vendors that you may be buying from already, or if you search keywords like life insurance, final expense, burial, cremation, whatever, that's like the best thing, because every ad that you see up there, there's money behind it. You can't see how much, you can't see what scale, but there's money up there, and you can filter by how long ads have been running for. And the longer an ad's been running, the higher chance that it is that it's really profitable. So that would be, if you have nothing else, that would be where I start. Spend 30 minutes to an hour, go through those things, click on them, see how they look, how they're set up. And then what will end up happening is too, as you scroll through IG or you scroll through Facebook, you're going to start getting targeted by those ads. And so you can interact with them, like them, hit comment. If they're a call to action, like direct response to them, or like to fill out a lead, just see what they're doing. Because what you're doing is basically research and being able to get the playbook for free. And so once you see what is currently working, and we have examples too, if you guys want a place to start, especially for those who may not be in the community, once you see what's working, all you want to do is three things: take it, improve it, and make it your own. So you're not going to just rip their straight up ad, but what is working about it? Is it the picture? Is it the words? Is it the color? Is it the way that it shows up in the feed? Is it calling out a specific audience? Is the policy coverage versus how cheap it is per month really what stands out? Really just take a look. And if you saw this thing in your feed, what is it that could be making it attractive? So you're going to find those things. You're going to take it. You're going to make it better. So if it's spaced weird, if you can improve, the targeting. So let's just say it just says for parents, you might go specific to new dads, or to parents with adult children, or to parents between age 21 to 50, or whatever. You're going to improve it in a way that would be good for the type of clientele that you take it, that you call on. And then number three, you're going to make it your own. So you're literally going to recreate the ad in something like Canva. Canva is my absolute favorite. It's free to start. The paid one is like $10 a month. So it's like as cheap as you can possibly get. And you're just going to make it your own. So find it, make it better, and make it your own. And then I would literally just use those ads and test them in Facebook. And we can go over more detail if you guys want, but you can test for super cheap, $5-10 a day. Everyone has $60 a week, $70 a week that you can find to put that up. And I promise you, within 2 to 3 days, you will see if it's going to be beneficial for you or not, because you should be getting at least a lead or two off that a day, even at, $5 or $10 a day. And if you don't get anything, you spend $50, you get 2 leads, they don't pick up, you triple dialed them 3 days in a row, nothing. Scrap that lead, or scrap the ad rather, and go back to the ads library. And you're just going to do that over and over and over and over and over again until you find something. And when you find something that works, and Johnny can attest to this, Max can attest to this, I for sure can attest to this, I've spent many thousands of dollars a day in advertising. When it works immediately. And as you scale, it continues to produce. You will see it'll go from maybe you're spending $10 a day for 4 days and you get 2 leads, and then you try. And then within 3 days, you have like 15 leads. That ad is it has a good chance that as you scale it to 20, 30, 50, 100, 200, if you guys have agencies, $500, $1,000 a day, it will literally just continue to get better and just print. And so at a broad level, if you guys do nothing else for marketing, you're gonna do the research for it, you're gonna find what works, you're gonna make it better, you're gonna make it your own. And then once you do those, you can make different variations for different groups you want to go after, different coverage, different colors, whatever. And then you're just gonna test for real cheap. And I told Johnny this too, even if you got 20 grand to play with and spend, when I had hundreds of thousands of dollars in access to credit to spend, I would still start at $20 a day. Because I want to prove for as cheap as possible and as realistically as possible that these things are going to work. And as soon as they work, you just slowly, incrementally start to scale. Because I promise you, you could be able to get more leads than you know how to do with once you find that ad in 2 weeks' time.
A lot of people ask me, do you keep an ad on throughout the weekend or do you shut it off? What's kind of your take on that?
Good question. So how many of you guys, just to get an idea, how many of you guys call Monday through Friday? Like pretty consistently? Okay. Any weekends, like let's say Saturday, keep your hands up if it's Saturday. Okay. Sundays? Okay. It's totally fine. If you are making sales, the number one golden rule of marketing, if it makes money, don't turn it off. So if you're banging phones Monday through Thursday, and then you're spending time with family Friday through Sunday, and you made money Monday through Thursday, in my opinion, keep those ads on.
Yeah.
Back to the beginning part that I said, if you're getting a couple leads here and there, no one's really picking up on third day, now they're kind of getting aged, whatever, that might be something you would consider turning off and using the weekend to, again, do that research, make new ads, etc. But the golden rule of marketing, if it makes money, you don't turn it off. So that's what I would say. Even if you know you're going to take time off, or you don't work Sundays, or you know, every other Saturday, maybe you'll call. I promise you, the couple $100 you'll spend over the weekend, or couple tens of dollars over the weekend, depending where you're at, you will make back in spades. Because in those moments, Facebook is still optimizing your ad. So you still have people that submitted leads on a Friday night at 11:38 p.m. that you're going to call on Monday because you're not working that weekend. You could still close them. You might be getting leads on Sunday that you don't get to call to the next day. You can still close them. And even if you don't, I promise you, for what you're spending Monday through Friday or Monday through Saturday when you are banging the phones, you will make back so much more. Again, Max is a great testament. His ads weren't turned off on that $1,000 and he's writing almost 20 grand in business. And I know he's not having to call 24/7. So that's a great example. But again, it's going to go back to that first part. If it's proving itself and you're making money, leave it.
No, that's really good. Interest. So in terms of like finding your perfect person, what would your kind of advice be on interest targeting?
Yeah. So this is kind of twofold. Interests are really, on Facebook specifically, are really good. They're powerful, but they're just indicators. So if you have a really solid ad, and let's say you're licensed in 10 states, and you don't pick a single interest, but your ad is a banger, you've made money on it, that is more important than picking an interest. Because if you pick the perfect, super secret interest that no one's ever done and it's untapped and blah, 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 and your ad is trash, that doesn't mean anything. Conversely, if you have an ad that you know is solid, it's close to what other people are running, you've already made a sale or two on it, the likelihood that Facebook finds the people that need to see it and that you continue to make money is much, much higher if you have a really good ad. So that's just a caveat to start.
Yeah.
As far as interest goes, in my opinion, with states, it's a little bit different because you guys are tied to what you can sell in, right? Or what policies would be covered in that state. So I say that because if you have 2 states, you're not really going to have a big audience regardless of what you pick. Once you start getting in those double digits, 10, 20, 30, if you're on a team, whatever, it's usually going to yank your lead cost down a bunch regardless of the interest that you pick. So those are the 2 big caveats. On specifically picking the interest, I would take time to think about the average person that you sell. So how many of you guys have sold an older lady who has some comorbidities and is 78? I'm sure a bunch of you guys, or maybe at least have gotten those people. How many of you guys have sold a young new mom who's 28? 1, 2, maybe anyone? Okay, perfect. Spanish speaking, whatever your bread and butter is, replacements, whatever, you want to think about where that person exists. So if you're usually selling a senior who's 57, about to retire, has 2 adult kids, and just is looking for some extra coverage, if that's kind of your average, that specific person exists in different interests. So they exist in the parent interest because they're parents. They probably have interacted with things that are tied to parenthood. They exist in the retiree interest or retirement interest because they're almost of age or they're right there. They may exist in the pet interest because they got 2 dogs that are the love of their lives and they spend 10 grand on them a year. But you want to think about what your core type of person is. And then in Facebook, just type in ideas that you have: pets, cruise ships, vacation, retiree, insurance, whatever you can possibly think of, and even weird ones, right? Home
Bingo.
decor, whatever. Those people are doing those things because think about how many things we interact with just as normal humans, right? You might go to the gym, you might pick your kid up from school, you might watch a certain show, whatever.
Yep.
So the more you can really think about that type of person that you typically sell or that you want to sell, the more you can generate ideas for interest. And what's wild is that same person, if you target, let's say, life insurance, right? That person might cost you 15.22 per lead to talk to. But that same person may love their pets. And when you target them in pets, it may cost you $4.22 per. And so that same exact person in that example is over 3 times more expensive in one bucket than they are the other. You're not going to know that until you test, but those are the things that you can start to think through. Because you can ask Johnny, we've scaled on some of the most wild interests that seemingly don't have anything to do with insurance, but we are getting leads much cheaper than the competition. They're the same exact people. You're just getting them for less. And for the per dollar that you're spending, especially if you're on a budget, you become profitable very, very quickly. So that's kind of how I would think through interest. And then eventually, last thing I'll say before Chase, eventually your goal is to get broad. So once you have an ad that you know is working, you can throw that against the states that you have, the amount of spend that you want, and their age. No interest once you know that ad works, and let Facebook find out who it needs to go target, because that's the absolute cheapest way to get quality leads once your ad is dialed. So just to recap for a timeline, figure out the ad, target interest that you think possibly those people could be in, and then eventually take that broad. So basically just no interest, but same ad, just based on age or based on state.
Yeah. Chase, what you got, bro?
One quick question. So I was speaking with somebody today, and he mentioned how like he has like his agents are like reporting their results off of the ads back to Facebook, and then Facebook's like using that data to optimize your ads, so they kind of know like where you're closing and where you're not closing. I had never really heard of that before, and I'm not really sure if it's like that valuable at all. But do you know very much about that, Elijah?
Yeah, question for you. Are they reporting back, like, let's say the AP that was written?
I think they're reporting back just like which ads they're finding sales from.
Okay.
So
Second
like
question.
I track all my ads. Like I know specifically which of my ads are
Yeah.
performing much better than others. So maybe I'll just tell them that data, but
Okay. Do you know, and you may not know, which is fine, but do you know what metric is getting reported back? I know you said the ad, but do you know how it's showing up back in Facebook?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Probably AP.
Okay. That's kind of what I would think, and that would be more the CRM pushing back. So it's just a like a loop, right? You get them on Facebook, they go into your CRM, you talk to them, you write the policy, they closed for whatever value, and then that value gets pushed back to Facebook. That's how I used to run my stuff in ecom. So we would track purchase conversions, so like how many people actually bought, and then what's the average, in our case, the average order value. So for you, just be the average policy. If you can find a way to get your CRM, because you guys all may be using different stuff, if you can find a way to get your CRM to kick back the AP, dude, that puts your stuff on steroids. Because now Facebook has dollar values to assign. You spent $178 to get this person, and 1,100 came back. They love that. So if you can do that, that's the best possible thing you can do. The caveat to that would be Facebook is also really smart. And so even if you can't do that, or you're having trouble doing that, or your CRM for whatever reason doesn't have that data, the more you spend on one certain ad or one interest, so one ad set, the more likely it is in Facebook's mind that that thing is performing. Otherwise, you wouldn't be spending money. So that's more of a backup if you can't get that. But if you can, you for sure should be kicking that data back to Facebook so they know. It'll just improve everything.
Makes sense. Steroids sound pretty cool, so maybe I'll try it.
and they're legal in this case. So we can talk offline too. We can take a look, since you're in the community, we can take a look at your stuff. But again, I mean, think about it. If you were a business owner and one person was spending $1,000 a day with you in this specific situation, and another person spending 10, and then this person pushes to 1,200, what do you think the likelihood is that this person is probably making more money, and that you would do everything you could as the provider in that example to help that person, right? For cheaper, for better, for more reach, etc. So if you guys can get that data and find a way to tag it, it's usually like in the parameter section. If you can find a way to tag it back to Facebook, that'll probably cut your ad cost by 30 to 40%, and you will just see crazy results coming in from that if you can.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, great question.
Great question, bro. Malcolm, what's up, bro?
Hey, brother, man, thank you for this. This has been a lot of powerful information, especially utilizing the Facebook ads library. I can't wait to dive into that. And I was wondering, since you guys are so prevalent on YouTube, do you use YouTube ads as well as Facebook, or do you just exclusively go with Facebook?
It's just exclusively Facebook. I'm just gonna chime in here real quick.
Yeah.
My philosophy with this stuff, with marketing, is go deep on one platform. And Facebook, everybody's there, right? You can do YouTube, you could do TikTok, you can definitely get results from there. But I think like find a platform that's fairly simple to use and master that. And then you can touch other platforms. It's not worth going in 3 different platforms and being mediocre at any of them. So I would say like find one and go super deep on there. Go deep. And then when you need to scale at some point, and Elijah is going to be more like the guy to answer this question, but like what we've kind of covered is like you want to go very deep with one platform and then think about adding more. So
Yeah.
I'll turn it over to you, Elijah, on that.
No, you're totally spot on. I spent well into the 6 figures on Facebook before I ever went to TikTok for e-commerce. And I mean, there's 14-year-old kids in high school class just ripping money out of the sky on TikTok, but that's where they started too, right? Because when they do the opposite, when they try to come to the tried and true Facebook or Instagram, they have a tough time because marketing in and of itself is the same, but the way that you do it, there's like what Johnny was saying, there's so many nuances, right? Even if it's just a simple picture or a simple lead form or a simple pick up and dial, whatever, the way that the platforms work, the way that the algorithms work, the way that the people on those platforms work can change. And so once you master one, like he was saying, one vertical of advertising, and Facebook, in my opinion, for the data that you get, for the amount that you can spend versus what you can make, for how much you can track, and how quickly and consistently you can scale, I haven't found anything for your guys' space that beats that yet. But it doesn't mean that Instagram, YouTube, Twitter ads, LinkedIn wouldn't work. I would just say master one, and I'm probably more partial to Facebook, at least as of now.
Awesome. Thanks a lot.
It's a good question, dude. Let's see. Yeah, in terms of scaling, right? When have you seen is the right time to be able to scale an ad versus like kill an ad? And what I mean by kill is turn off the ad or keep it going and then scale it in terms of like adding more money behind it. What's kind of your thought process with that? If somebody's just kind of starting out, how do they know if it's an ad's working or not? And then if they should add more money to that or scale it down?
Great question. I'm going to give you guys, and this is the honest truth, I'm going to give you guys what probably cost me about 40 grand to learn, like just straight burn money. So the reason why I mentioned those thresholds in the beginning, $5, $10, 25 if you got the bread, whatever, is because scaling is not or almost is never the issue. Facebook will always take your money. So that's clicking, add more, clicking, going from 25 to 50. That's super easy. It literally takes 2 seconds. That's not the problem. But you want to be very disciplined with your approach to it. Simple, but disciplined. So this is typically the rule of thumb I say. Pick whatever threshold per day that you're okay with spending and spend for a minimum of 3 days. So if it's $10, it's going to be 30. If it's 25, it's going to be 75. If it's $5, it's going to be 15. And commit in your mind that whatever you choose for those 3 days, if you make nothing back, you're okay with that. It's not going to break the bank. That may not be that important at $10 a day, but I promise you, You get in the neighborhood of 300 bucks a day, 500 bucks a day. If you got an agency, 1,000, 2,000, like I was at ecom, almost $3,000 a day. That 3 days of that is heart wrenching if you don't know what it is that you're doing. So whatever threshold you pick, and whenever you make a change could be adding new ads, launching new ads, tweaking an ad, raising a budget, decreasing a budget, any kind of fundamental change you make to Facebook, be okay with it being as is for 3 days. So you launch something on a Monday at midnight, end of day Wednesday, you're going to be checking performance. If you're making sales and stuff on it, great. And I'll touch on that in a second. You may be able to scale earlier, but my rule of thumb is always 3. Number 2 to that, and I'll go over the metrics to look to scale with in a second. Facebook used to be a place where you could literally double ad spend, 10 to 20, 20 to 40, 40 to 80 every single day, and you would just be printing. This is like 2017 to 2019, maybe 2020. It's not the case anymore. If you scale that aggressively because you're excited, you made a sale, you made a couple sales, you got to follow up, whatever, the likelihood that you tank your ad by doing that type of aggressive scaling is very high. So my rule of thumb and Johnny's rule of thumb is whatever the budget is that you pick, after 3 days, you can scale a minimum. We would recommend scaling a minimum of 20% of whatever it is that you have per day. So a minimum of 20 to a maximum of 50%. If you're in the $10 range, you don't have to do like 10 to 50. You could double if you want, but for sure, once you get past about 50, maybe 100, for sure 100, I would caution to go a little more conservatively, because if you do the math, if you're at 20 bucks a day and then you go to 30, there's a 50%. Then you go from 30, let's say, to 45, there's a 50%. You only need to do that 5 times, 6 times. You'll be at $300, $400, $500 a day, depending on how many ad sets that you got. And for most agents that are on their own, you don't really need more than probably $300 a day in spend, like unless you're going to be calling 7 days a week, 12 hours a day. You're literally going to waste money on leads, which again may or may not be a bad thing. You may not care if you're printing, that's cool, but I promise you 20 to 20, 30, maybe 50% after 3 days, over 2 weeks, 3 weeks period of time, you will be literally having maybe a dozen or so leads a day that you cannot touch because of the conversations you're having, the presentations, the follow-ups on the contracts, the dials that you got to make. You're just going to have dead leads sitting there, or they'll eventually be dead by the time you can get to them. It's much, much easier to scale up. It is almost never a good idea to scale down unless you're at a point where you're optimized. You don't need to spend that much. You can pull it down. So that's for the ad side. On the sales side, and if you guys are not tracking these stats, I would. Dials, contact rate, so how many people pick up, presentations, and closes. Those would be the 4 things that I would track. Those are really sales metrics, but as Johnny knows, sales feeds marketing and marketing feeds sales. So when you're spending 10, 20 bucks a day, it might be 4 or 5 days until you actually get into a point, because you're really not spending that much, that you have a presentation, maybe a couple presentations, maybe a close. But those 4 metrics are going to be indicative at a low amount of money that you're spending that you could make a sale. So if you're getting leads for $5 a lead, pretty solid cost, pretty cheap cost, and you're spending 20 bucks a day, you're getting 4 leads. Could you close one? Maybe, but how many of you guys have a consistent 25% close rate across the board? Probably not there. 10% might even be high, right? But let's just say on average, you close about a 5%. So you talk to 20 people, you're closing 1. If you're spending $20 a day and you're getting 4 leads a day, you need 5 days in that example of spend on paper to close 1. So that 3-day rule I talked about, you guys will know yourself better than we do. If you know you close about 5%, you're getting about 4 or 5 leads a day. You know how many days you need to spend until you close. If by the time that you get to those 20 leads in that example, you have not closed 1 yet, but you've presented to 10% or more of people that you spoke to, so you had at least 2 presentations, the likelihood that in the next day or even next couple hours that you close is very, very high, because you've done the work, you've had the presentations. 2 people closing, not closing, that's a pretty small amount of people to deal with, but it could just be 2 more leads that you call in the morning first thing on Thursday that you do get a close. It's $1,000 that you're getting paid out. You only spent $100 and now you're in business. The 10x, that's absolutely monstrous, but it's also not that crazy in your guys' world. So to recap, know your 4 sales metrics. How many dollars are you making? How many conversations are you having? How many presentations are you doing? And how many sales are you closing? That 4th one may not come if you're not spending that much money, but if the other 3 are dialed, and particularly if you are presenting to 10 or more % of people that you're speaking to, you have a very, very good chance that you're going to close. On the flip side, you've done the dials, you've had the conversations, and you either haven't had presentations, so you're under 10%, or you've presented a bunch and not a single person is even remotely qualified, close to closing, has money, whatever. That may be a time to turn off those ads. Because again, the likelihood that you spend for another 20 leads and close one is not as high. And even if you do, profit-wise, you may not be where you want to be. And the truth is, it's probably your ad. It's probably not you if you're doing those other 4 things.
No, it's really good. A lot of people would say, all right, peace out, Nancy. A lot of people would say, and I'm just curious your philosophy here. So sales and marketing are 2 different skills. When you're starting out or just in general as an agent, those are 2 skills that are necessary and you can make millions with on both sides. What's the balance of doing one or the other or both as an independent agent wanting to scale 20, 30,000 a month consistently for themselves?
Good question. I would say in the beginning, if you want to give it a percentage, my opinion, if you're at 0, you want to get to 20 a month net, you're probably at about a 20% importance of ads and 80% sales process, consistency, mindset, etc. However, that 20% of ads may take you 80 or 90% of your time because you just may not have that skill yet, and that's okay. But you need to develop it. As you scale, as you may add people to your team, as you may be spending $300 to $500 a day, you have to become a proficient marketer or you have to find someone that can be. Because to be frank, if you got a good ad, you could probably sit on that ad for 3-4 months, still make money, maybe swap some of the interest, get contracted in another state. Those things may help you. But at some point, those ads are going to get tired, which is why, I mean, advertising is a massive industry, just like sales is. There's a reason for that. People need new creative consistently because people get bored. People already seen that. I know what you're going to say. This is the 15, final expense ad I've seen, etc. So I would say 20-80 in the beginning. As far as if you're going to spend and really measure, it needs to be on the sales side. But don't be alarmed if that 20% of ads importance takes you 80 or 90% of your time, your free time to learn, because that is a fundamental skill. It's not something you may have to do forever. You could find someone else to do it. Obviously, some of you guys may be buying leads, so someone else may currently be doing it for you. But if this is something that you want to own your lead source, keep costs down, actually take home profit, not just write policies. That is something to fundamentally understand. And it will become more important for sure as you scale. So that's kind of the balance that I would say between those 2 to start.
Yeah. Dude, that's huge. Kind of as we wrap up here, any other marketing advice that you'd give to a life insurance agent wanting to own their own lead source?
Yeah. In e-com, there's a saying, and there's also one for funnels. You may have heard like you're 1 funnel away from whatever your dream outcome is, right? The same can be said about ads, especially if you're a solo producer. 1 ad, I kid you not, you can ask Johnny, 1 ad, you can literally change your life. So that may be your 57th ad that you've made. That may be the 200th ad that you've saved, researched, tweaked, and launched. But that 1 ad, the best e-com ad I ever had, I spent like $107,000 just on that ad. It had, I don't even know how many millions of impressions. And that thing was doing consistently $300 to $3,500 a day in revenue, completely automated for me. So once I did all the work, it was completely automated. That ad, to get to that ad, it took me 4 years to learn how to market and a lot of money that I lost beforehand. But once that ad was up, when it literally day 1 made money, and I was kind of skeptical, like, oh, okay, I've seen ads make money and kind of die out, whatever. Day 3, it doubled, and I had not increased the amount of money. And by the time I was 3 weeks in, that thing, like clockwork, was spitting out 20 to 30K a week. And so, again, I share that to you guys that yes, that 4 years is a long time, and you don't need to be nearly as invested in marketing. We're talking about picture ads. Like any of us can spend a couple hours learn how to switch colors in Canva, learn how to write some stuff at the top, because it's all out there. Like Malcolm mentioned, Facebook Ads Library, I still use that. I'll be using this today after this call. It is like the GOAT when it comes to that kind of stuff. But the iterations that you do, even if you feel like you're banging your head against the wall, it's not working, I should just go back to buying leads, whatever, even if you do end up going back to doing those things, or you have someone else do it for you, or if you join the community and taking care of it for you, whatever, knowing how to do that for yourself, you can literally create money on demand, but it is a skill that you have to sharpen. But all it really takes is one ad to print, and that ad can literally buy you in a couple months' time, maybe a couple of years of savings, depending on how your sales process and your discipline goes. So at a big picture, that's what I would say is learn the skill of marketing. Don't allow it to take focus from your sales side, but you really are only looking for that one winner, and you can scale and make a lot of money off that.
Yeah. Dude, appreciate you. This is kind of the preview into our school community we got for free. And it's going to be kind of covering like a lot of these things, but just in a very short amount of time so that you guys get your ads up and running ASAP. So be on the lookout for that. That's launching later this week, early next week. In the school community. It's completely free. We're going to be doing support calls like this as well. So if you haven't already applied there to school, again, it's completely free. But this is going to wrap up the.
Hey,
Go
Johnny,
ahead.
sorry, real quick. Seth had a question. Seth, I just wanted to clarify when you say, does it matter if you do Facebook leads form or direct calendar link? Do you mean like if the, excuse me, if the ads, when you click on it, if it shows a Facebook link versus maybe takes you off and makes you book a call? Is that kind of what you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, good question. Honestly, both work. The way that we tend to set up our ads is very simple Facebook lead form, like really, really simple. And we have the steps that we can go over later. And then at the end, once they've submitted, you can also have, it'll say, thank you for your information. Someone will call you shortly, etc. And on that last page at the bottom, it will also say schedule an appointment or book a call. So we basically double dip on both. But even if they don't book a call because you guys are going to bang the phones anyway, we still have their lead information. So it's still a qualified lead. If they want to pre-book and you're going to get your calendars filled, awesome. We'll have that right at the end. You click on it, it'll pull up a calendar or whatever you use, and they can book there if you'd like. But that hybrid is a really, really good way to keep lead costs real cheap. Because sometimes when you go off Facebook, your cost is going to double or triple. Could still be a really good quality lead, but you do have to be a good marketer when it comes to pulling traffic off because it'll be more expensive. So the way that you can kind of work around that, and you don't want really trash, only autofill real basic information forms. Have a form that makes them autofill some stuff, type in a couple things, and then right at the end gives them an option to schedule if they want. If they don't want, no problem. They're getting a call in 5 minutes from you anyway. So hopefully that was helpful.
Yeah. Max, what's up, bro? You're muted.
Hello.
Sir. There we
Okay,
go.
unrelated, but Johnny, I was talking to John and he like told me that there was actually like a lapse prevention workflow. So I just like threw like 10 people in there and I just got like 2 policies back on the books.
Bro.
Oh, those are big policies too. I was like, man, if these lapse, it's not going to be pretty. So
love it, bro.
I know it's not marketing, but I felt I have to share that because man, that's huge. So
Yeah.
stressful, especially when companies don't have SS billing. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, I love it. That's huge.
Yeah, huge.
Part of the CRM we use. So it's awesome, bro. Love to hear it. So guys, thanks so much for coming to watch the end of this. We're going to be doing more of these coming soon. Let me know if you guys enjoy this. I know it's like a longer, we've been going for like 3.5 hours, but let me know if you guys like this style of content. If this was helpful for you guys, if you guys are on YouTube, on Zoom, appreciate you guys hopping on here. Lots more to come here in 2024. Super excited to announce some things that we got cooking up, but appreciate you guys hopping on here. I'll see you.